Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. Last night was a rough one for the Pippins. They unfortunately walk away with a 14-1 loss in Game 1, but that was last night, and that was in Bellingham. Tonight, the Pippins are back in Yakima for Game number 2, and it's win or go home. Last night, the Bellingham Bells scored 14 runs on 23 hits. 23 hits, the most hits the Pippins have allowed in one game. The Pippins score 1 run on 4 hits. The run comes in the first inning, taking a 1-0 lead. Bells would tie it in the first and go on to take a 14-1 lead as the game would go on and walk away with the win. The Pippins had to use 4 pitchers last night. Kenny Johnson went 2 innings. Dylan Bishop went just over 2 innings. Peyton Robertson and Julian Todden-Chabot for the Pippins last night. Meanwhile, the Bells used Tommy O'Rourke and Trevin Hope, who both turned in great outings for the Bellingham Bells. They've got a lot of fresh arms coming into game number 2. They have to win just 1 more. Meanwhile, the Pippins have to hold off the Bells here in game 2 and come back for a win in game 3 as well. Tonight, Seth Kykendahl on the mound. We'll go over his stats when we come back after our interview with one of the Pippins coaches right after this break on the Pippins pregame show.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr., talking with head coach Kyle Crustangel. Kyle, I talked to you before last night's game in Bellingham. Get a chance to talk to you here before Game 2. You come back from a 14-1 loss, but I know you guys have your heads up. You're ready to go. You feel optimistic. Why is that? How are you feeling coming into the second game despite the results last night?
Yeah, obviously the last one didn't go the way as planned. Kenny obviously got to kind of rough start, and at that point, things just kind of tumbled, and that's kind of baseball. They had a day where it's tough to piece that many hits together. Everything hard fell, everything soft fell, and that's just nature of the game. But feel great about today. I mean, I think Seth's a really good matchup for this lineup. A team that can really swing on the fastball, and Seth's more of an off-speed timing nightmare for hitters. So I really like the matchup that we have. We also are fully loaded in the bullpen. Didn't have to obviously use our closers yesterday, so we have those guys that are kind of fresh, ready to go. Chance to be back in Yakima, and our guys definitely playing for something. Want to go out there and get the win. But again, like the matchups today, this team's done a great job all year of not letting a previous day dictate what happens the next day. And obviously, we play a sport where you can see scores very lopsided one day, and the other team can be the extreme lopside the other day, and that's just nature of it. So backs against the wall a little bit, but this group is excited for the challenge and look forward to a good quality Game 2 today.
Yeah, you mentioned backs against the wall. Today is win or go home. Pretty simple standards. You talk about it throughout the regular season. This league is built on winning series, not individual games. And in the regular season, you guys took 2 out of 3 games, both series that you played against Bellingham. So obviously the chance is still there, but you guys get out of that first game, you get through it, you just kind of nurse yourself, lick your wounds, getting through that game to preserve, like you said, the closers and everyone. And hitting-wise, how do you think you guys rebound here in Yakima versus in Bellingham last night?
Yeah, I think O'Rourke did a good job last night. A little wild in the first, and we kind of left bases juice, so we kind of got off the hook with only 1 run to him. But he's a low 1 ERA type of guy. He really spins a breaking ball. Kind of a big 12-6. So he's a good arm, and I think got to the point of when the game got a little bit lopsided and he's kind of still rolling, there were decisions to be made on who was going to go on the mound and what you had to do. And that's, our focus the entire day yesterday was we got to win 2, and you got to make sure you're ready to go to win game 2 and game 3. But yeah, I look for our offense to be a much better today and compete more, too many strikeouts. But again, you got to tip your cap to Hope and to O'Rourke, who really threw well last night for those guys.
Yeah, you always want to win game 1 if you can, but like you said, you can win game 2 and game 3, and it's just as good as winning 1 and 2. So the Pippins will look for the start tonight, winning game 2 at home against the Bellingham Bells. We'll be right back with lineups and first pitch right here on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
At Cascade Natural Gas, we help smart businesses cover their bases, old, new, and in between. No matter the age of your building, they all benefit from energy-efficient choices. Cascade Natural Gas offers a long list of incentives for energy-efficient upgrades. Upgrades that save your business money every day. Become one of the many Cascade business owners benefiting from the quality, comfort, and savings of energy-efficient upgrades. Join Team Energy Efficiency and take advantage of rebates from Cascade Natural Gas.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello everyone and welcome inside Yakima County Stadium, the Orchard, for opening day 2021 as the Yakima Valley Pippins begin their season with a 3-game set against the 4-time defending West Coast League champions, the Corvallis Knights.
Skipped out of his glove, now pops one up deep to right field, and that ball is gone. Chase Graves, have yourself a day. Simpson. That one swung on but lined hard into center field. Reese Hernandez looking back. And Dickman hits this one deep to left. Looking up is Cole Hinkleman, and he will watch it go. This game is tied in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bishop delivers. Outside corner, taken. Strike 3. Dylan Bishop strikes out the side in the top of the 8th. Here's the 3-2. Inside, taken, strike 3, and Tyler Frieders has retired the last 7 straight batters he's faced, 6 of them with strikeouts. The payoff pitch to Funk, swung on and missed. 3 strikeouts for Matty Funk, and that is strikeout number 10 for Kenny Johnson, tying the season high. So we head to the bottom of the 15th inning, and for the first time today, the Yakima Valley Pippins trail. They're behind 5-3 this game. Carpentier hits this one high and deep to right, and that ball is gone. First pitch hit to the left side. That will drop in left center field. Gerald will score easily from second. A balk called on Nick Irwin as Michael Carpentier Jr. took off for second. It's a walk-off balk in the bottom of the 16th inning. Working through the windup. Infield playing back against Saunders. The pitch swung on and missed. And the 6th strikeout of the night for Kirby Robertson. Shire with the pitch. Another slider popped up into center field. Chase Graves to his left underneath it and makes the catch for out number 3. 2 losses to start the series, but the Pippins respond in game 3 to avoid the sweep. Ben Delk's already out to a big lead, 4-0. Base hit. Here comes 1 run. The first pitch to Shanks. Line drive into left. It will drop for a base hit. Bryce getting waved around to go to the plate. The throw goes all the way home. 1 hops. The tag not in time. Here's the 2-1. Taylor Holder rips a line drive into left. It's an RBI double for Taylor Holder, and the Pippins now lead this game 5-4. Corey Gerald racing back, reaches up, and he makes the catch while falling to the ground. The ball goes to the shortstop. Spencer Marenko flips to Mason and over to first.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Yakima County Stadium as the players get announced here in Yakima. If you were tuned into last night's Mixler audio broadcast, or I assume if you were also tuned into the Bellingham broadcast as well, you may have heard that the teams were introduced in their entirety here in the playoffs. The playoff rosters recognizing the contributions of these guys throughout the regular season. Of course, the Pippins end up winning the first and second halves of the regular season, and the Bellingham Bells enter the playoffs by way of having the second best overall winning percentage. So down on the field, the playoff lineups are being announced here in Yakima. They were announced last night in Bellingham, but the Yakima fans not familiar with everyone and now get a chance to meet them. Take you through the starting pitchers real quick before we step away for the national anthem. Zach Simon, the right-hander out of Corbin College, he will get the start on the mound for Bellingham. 9 games, 5 starts in West Coast League play, had a 1-2 record with a 4.03 ERA in 29 innings of work, 33 strikeouts to 17 walks. Meanwhile, for the Pippins, starting things off will be Seth Kykendahl, senior out of Western Oregon University. He made 9 appearances, all 9 of them starts in West Coast League play, 3-3 record with a 3.29 ERA. Almost 55 innings of work for Kykendahl. Been a workhorse for the Pippins since joining the team. 40 strikeouts to 9 walks. 40 strikeouts to 9 walks for Kykendahl throughout this season. Those are your starting pitchers for tonight. We'll take you through tonight's starting lineups brought to you by the Yakima Herald-Republic when we return as we step away for the national anthem here at Yakima County Stadium. We'll be right back.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back inside Yakima County Stadium as we inch closer to first pitch here of game number 2 of the 2021 West Coast League divisional round in the north between the Bellingham Bells, who won game 1, and the Yakima Valley Pippins, who are looking to even up the series. It is quite simple. Pippins win tonight. They get to play tomorrow night here at home. If the Bells win tonight, Pippins are going home. Those are the stakes. And now let's meet the teams who will have to compete with that up for grabs. Time for tonight's starting lineups brought to you by the Yakima Herald-Republic. For the best sports coverage in the Yakima Valley, subscribe to the Yakima Herald-Republic, either in print or online. You can subscribe by calling 577-7755. The Yakima Herald-Republic, they tell your stories. Starting lineup tonight for the Bellingham Bells, Cody Schreier will move up to the leadoff spot tonight as the Bellingham Bells shake up the lineup a bit. The name's pretty familiar, but the spots changed. Cody Schreier leads things off as the shortstop. He will be followed by Nick McLean, who will play center field. Luis Aviles bats third tonight, playing first base. Cole Hinkleman, the DH, will hit cleanup. Charlie Somm enters the lineup as the catcher tonight, one of just 2 players in the lineup who did not play yesterday. He will bat fifth and play catcher. Ty Saunders, the second baseman, hits sixth and will be followed by A.J. Davis, the third baseman, batting seventh. Malachi Knight playing right field tonight, hitting eighth, and Emilio Corona, the left fielder, he will bat ninth. Zach Simon, as I said earlier, he will be the starting pitcher tonight for the Bellingham Bells, right-hander out of Corbin College. But right now, on the mound for the Pippins, Seth Kykendahl getting loose. Behind him defensively, Alex Shanks will start in left field tonight as he did last night. Taylor Holder in center, Blake Dickman in right. In fact, the lineup pretty similar to last night. Chaz Myers still at third base, Connor Cabales at shortstop. The only main difference is Mason Marenko playing second base tonight. Willie Lajoie is at first base, and Michael Carpentier Jr. is the catcher tonight for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Well, the 2 famous words of baseball that get every game going have been uttered, and that means we are about ready to go here at Yakima County Stadium. A few minutes late, or later than the scheduled start time. 5 minutes late last night. Looks like we'll be 7 minutes late tonight. First pitch 7:12 p.m., and it's a called strike to Cody Schreier. Everything always takes longer than you think it will when it comes to live events. The 0-1 pitch misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, everybody still getting back, getting used to running live events. The West Coast League did not hold a season last year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. They finally get back to things here in 2021, and the Pippins get back to action with their new head coach, who was set to take over yesterday. Or last year, rather, yesteryear. And he takes over here in 2021 and leads the team to their first ever first half championship. Big swing and a miss from Cody Schreier, and it's 2-2 for him. Goes on to also win the second half of the regular season with the Pippins. Pippins finished with a 29-19 West Coast League record, best overall record in the North. Bellingham, who they're facing here in the playoffs, finished even 500. Fly ball into shallow right field. Blake Dickman over chasing it and catches up to make the catch for out number 1. That'll bring Nick McLean to the plate. McLean went 3 for 5 in last night's game. Padded stats for a lot of the players on the Bellingham Bells roster. Everyone in the lineup last night had a hit. Almost everybody scored a run except for Ty Saunders, who is in the starting lineup again here tonight. Takes a ball inside, Nick McLean does, and it's 1-0. McLean, left-handed hitter, will be a freshman at UCLA, just as Cody Schreier, who just flew out, will be. Kykendahl out of the windup, the 1-0 pitch, another fly ball, this time to center field. Taylor Holder ranges back a few steps and now camps out underneath it to make the catch for out number 2. Well, if you're the Pippins, this is certainly encouraging, letting everyone take a deep sigh of relief. The Bellingham Bells jumped out early last night after the Pippins earned a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning. Bennett Lee started the bottom of the first last night with a double. After McLean flew out, Luis Aviles scored Bennett Lee with a single to tie the game in the first. A hard grounder to the third baseman, Chaz Myers, who fields it on the backhand and lofts one over to first base for an easy out number 3. And just like that, the Bellingham Bells are held scoreless in inning number 1. We go to the bottom of the first. Pippins to bat for the first time. Connor Cabales, Chaz Myers, and Sam Olson to lead things off. We'll be right back. You're tuning into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for the bottom of the first inning as Seth Kykendahl held the Bellingham Bells scoreless in the top of the first. The starting lineup tonight for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Connor Kobalis is hitting leadoff, playing shortstop tonight. Chaz Myers, the third baseman, hits second. He just fielded the ground out to end the top of the first inning. Sam Olson DHing again tonight, hitting third, and Willie Lajoie bats cleanup to play first base. Michael Carpentier Jr. hitting fifth tonight as the catcher, and Blake Dickman, the right fielder, he bats sixth. The first 6 spots in the lineup identical, both in spot and position. But then Mason Marenko, the newcomer to the lineup, playing second base tonight, batting seventh. Alex Shanks hitting eighth as the left fielder. And Taylor Holder moves down to the 9 spot, playing center field. Against the Pippins will be Zach Simon, right-hander out of Corbin University. He'll go back as a redshirt sophomore in the fall, 6'1", 185 right-hander out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Kobalis to lead things off against him. Kobalis finished the West Coast League season with a .282 batting average, second on the team behind Blake Dickman, who we'll see later on tonight. Kobalis takes ball 1 up high to start the at-bat. Defensively for the Bells, Emilio Corona, newcomer to the lineup. He's in left field with McLean in center and Malachi Knight in right as Kobalis fouls one off. Third baseman A.J. Davis. Cody Schreier is the shortstop. Ty Saunders at second and Luis Aviles the first baseman. Those 4 positions identical. But the new catcher, Charlie Somm, taking over for Bennett Lee, who caught last night. 1-1 pitch to Kobalis, taken low and away, and it's 2-1. The Pippins, by the way, using Michael Carpentier Jr. behind the plate again tonight. They were probably going to use him on back-to-back nights, if not all 3 games of this series. As Kobalis swings through one, it's 2-2. But once things started to get a little bit out of hand last night, they recognized the opportunity to rest Carpentier's legs and moved Blake Dickman from right field to catching in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Dickman caught the final few innings. Bouncer third base side, stopped by the shortstop Cody Schreier, tries to get it down to first. One hops it as it was a long throw, and he was on the run. And Kobalis beats it out for an infield single. Third baseman A.J. Davis went diving after that one. There's not a good chance to get to it. That'll bring Chaz Myers to the plate with Connor Kobalis getting the leadoff single. Kobalis last night led off the game with an 8-pitch walk. And Chaz Myers followed it up by reaching on catcher's interference. Might have been the first time I think a Pippins hitter reached this season, the entire summer, on a catcher's interference. We had at least one call against the Pippins that I can recall. Strike called at the knees to Kobalis, and it's 0-1. Chaz Myers, rather. I was looking at the wrong spot of the lineup card. 0-1 pitch to Chaz Myers. He takes up high. That's ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike for Myers, who will go back to the University of the Pacific as a sophomore. Got the start at third base last night and tonight. Leads the team in doubles with 13 of them over the summer. He was a couple off of the franchise record for doubles in a season. Here's the 1-1, and breaking ball. He gets a piece of it, fouls it back towards his own dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Myers, a guy who tends to come up in big situations once he finds himself locked into games. Very versatile batter. We've obviously talked about the doubles. He's got a home run as well this summer. But a lot of singles and walks out of him. Hard hit grounder to the shortstop, and that's not what the Pippins needed. Over to second and to first. And the Bellingham Bells turn a double play to erase the leadoff single. 6-4-3 variety, and now there are 2 outs with nobody on for Sam Olson. Olson, the DH tonight, leads the team in on-base percentage, led the team over the summer with a .417 on-base percentage. Also second on the team in walks, takes a ball down low, and it's 1-0. Very patient hitter. Will work deep into counts and find a pitch he can hit. Doesn't give a lot of balls a long ride, but tends to drop them in. This one will stay up just too long into right field, and Malachi Knight will be able to make the catch easily. So leadoff single by Connor Kobalas, erased by the double play, grounded into by Chaz Myers, and then Sam Olson lines out to the right fielder. 3 up and 3 down for both halves of the first inning. No score as we go to the second. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Top of the second inning. And no score here in Yakima. A little bit different look from last night when after the first inning this game was tied at 1. 1 hit for the Pippins in the bottom of the first. No hit so far for the Bellingham Bells against Seth Kykendahl. But Cole Hinkleman, who's got one of the bigger bats in the West Coast League, he will lead things off in the top of the second. It will be Hinkleman, Somm, and Saunders, DH catcher and second baseman. Hinkleman, big left-handed bat, will be a sophomore at Stanford in the fall. Takes a pitch inside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Hinkleman last night, 2 for 6. 1 run, 2 RBI. Tries to hold back a swing, but he went around, says home plate umpire Jacob Asher, and it's 0-2. One of those 2 hits for Cole Hinkleman last night, by the way. Solo home run as the Bells went back-to-back. Aviles followed by Hinkleman. Hinkleman's home run traveled 431 feet. 0-2 pitch. He takes up high for ball 1. 431 feet off the bat of Cole Hinkleman into right field. That was the longest hit baseball of the entire season across the West Coast League. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He takes low and inside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the DH last night. Gets to continue that work here tonight. Seth Kykendahl on the mound, working out of the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Fouls one off. Hinkleman does. Right to the on-deck batter, Charlie Somm, who barehanded that one very nonchalantly. And received much less praise from his teammates than I would have expected after that smooth of a play. Pitch from Kykendahl. And fouled off. It goes off the glove of Michael Carpentier Jr. on what could have been a foul tip. Pops out of the glove, and Carpentier frustrated he doesn't glove that one. Tosses a new baseball back to Kykendahl. The Pippins tonight wearing their all-white jerseys. Pippins across the front in green lettering, green numbers on the back, and green hats for them. 2-2 pitch on the way to Hinkleman, and tries to hold back his swing. Did he go around? No, says the third base umpire, Jordan Shepard. Not a favorable call here in Yakima. It looked like the right call from up here in the press box. So it's a full count for the DH, starting things off in the top of the second inning. No score in this game. The payoff pitch. And Hinkleman lifts one into center. Taylor Holder late read, but now looks like he's got a read on it. It makes the catch for out number 1. I'm not sure whether he didn't see it right off the bat or just thought it was going to travel further. Ultimately didn't travel too far away from where he had started. So Taylor Holder able to make the catch easily. And now we'll get moved towards right field against the right-handed hitting Charlie Somm. There's a big gap in left center field as the left fielder Shanks playing about straight up against the catcher. First pitch strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. But Holder is shaded towards right. Blake Dickman a little bit closer to the right field line than he normally plays. Infield average depth and positioning. The 0-1 pitch to Somm holds back a swing. They might ask for help on this one, but so far they haven't. Now they do, and Eric Swift says that Charlie Somm went around. And now the Yakima crowd has a favorite umpire, the first base umpire Eric Swift, and a least favorite umpire, the third base umpire Jordan Shepard, who I believe are 2 for 2. They've both made the right calls. The 0-2 pitch taken up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes for Charlie Somm. 3-man crew here in the West Coast League playoffs, if you weren't tuned in to the broadcast last night. A little bit different from the regular season. They add an extra umpire. Allows extra eyes at all times, including at-bats with nobody on. Both those umpires are down the lines, their respective lines. So with a right-hander up, Somm, the check goes down to the first base umpire. With a lefty up, the batter before Hinkleman, it goes down to the third base umpire. 2-2 pitch misses just low and away, and it's a full count for Somm, who will be a freshman at Stanford University in the fall. Finished the summer with a 139 batting average. Gets the start here tonight. Be curious to see if the Pippins are able to force a Game 3, who the Bells go with in a Game 3 situation. 3-2 pitch taken in the dirt, and Charlie Somm walks. He's the first batter to reach against Kykendahl in this game. That'll bring Ty Saunders to the plate. Another left-handed hitter, sophomore out of the University of Portland. Holds the dubious honor of having led his team in strikeouts over the summer, 59 of them. A few of them to Pippins pitchers as well. Infield playing pull against Saunders. Shortstop Kobalas over near the second base bag. Mason Marenko filling the gap between first and second for the left-handed hitter. First pitch taken outside for ball 1. Saunders went 1 for 5 last night. He had a walk, did not strike out. Pippins only struck out 2 batters last night. Peyton Robertson struck out both of them. Throw over to first, but back in safely was Somm. Peyton Robertson was able to strike out Luis Aviles and A.J. Davis. Both of those came in the 6th inning as well. 1-0 pitch just misses off the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes to Saunders. Finished the season with a .205 batting average, 22 runs scored, 17 RBI. 9 doubles and 3 home runs for him, so the bat does have some pop in it. High fly ball, but it stays in the infield. Willie Lajoie back behind the first base bag. Now trails back at the last second, but does make the catch for an interesting out number 2. A.J. Davis to bat, 2 outs, runner on first base. Right-handed hitter Davis, senior out of Lewis Clark State College. He'll be teammates with Donald Saltabon Jr., who played for the Pippins earlier this season. He was a 10-day guy who stayed, he had 2 different stints with the Pippins. Actually went home for a little bit, came back, and was here for about another week before taking off for the rest of the summer. First pitch taken down low by A.J. Davis. Went 1 for 4 last night with 2 runs scored. First, the 1-0 pitch. That one catches the knees, and it's a called strike. On first base is Charlie Somm, the first batter to reach in this game against Seth Kykendahl. Somm, no stolen bases, no attempts for him in the summer. Strike called against A.J. Davis, and Kykendahl 1 strike away from getting out of the second inning without allowing a run. The Pippins were not able to hold the Bells scoreless in 2 straight innings last night as Kykendahl throws over to first again. Somm slides in, and the throw is on the wrong side of the bag. A.J. Davis ready again. Kykendahl gives the nod and comes set. Hands at the belt. Here's the 1-2. Chopper, shortstop. Caballas has to wait back on it. Throws far and high over the head of Willie Lajoie. Gets lodged in the netting and fence line. Actually, looks like it went through the netting into the dugout bar. So that will be 2 bases for Charlie Somm from the time of the pitch. That puts him on third base. And A.J. Davis, who at the time of the pitch was at home plate, he goes to second on the play. Well, Caballas at times has been elite defensively. He's got one of the better gloves and a large range. Sometimes will rush himself on the throws. I think he had enough time on that play, but when he rushes, he ends up overthrowing. A lot of times you'll see guys spike him in the grass out in front when they rush. But Caballas, especially over the last week or so, seems to have happened a few extra times. Overthrows Lajoie. And that one, unfortunate, gets lodged into the fence line. Actually, could have been fortunate, depending on how it would have ricocheted otherwise. Malachi Knight at the plate, 1 ball and no strikes. Runners on second and third with 2 outs, and he holds back a swing to take ball 2 in the dirt. Kykendahl through the windup, the 2-0 pitch to Malachi Knight. He takes just above the strike zone, and it's 3 straight balls to start the at-bat for Knight. First base is open in this situation with Emilio Corona on deck. The 3-0 pitch and a strike called on the inside corner, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, and it goes right back up the middle, just past the glove of Seth Kykendahl. 1 run scores, and Taylor Holder has the ball drop out of his glove as he's trying to throw it home. So both runs will score on the play as Malachi Knight brings him in on a 2-run single, and the Bells lead 2-0 here in the top of the second inning. Well, that one just hit on the wrong side of Seth Kykendahl, where he wasn't able to get the glove back. It was hit behind him, really. And after that, just goes up the middle untouched. Taylor Holder scoops it up, thinking about trying to throw out the runner at home. Maybe he gets him, maybe doesn't with a strong throw. But as he's transferring it out of his glove, it falls to the grass, and the second runner scores without a threat. Here's Emilio Corona, who did not start last night's game. Strike taken on the first pitch. As I said, one of just 2 batters in this lineup who did not get the start last night. Corona, a sophomore out of the University of Washington, gets the start in left field tonight. Malachi Knight on first base, the 0-1 pitch. And a ball called. It's 1-1. Knight finished the season 7 for 7, stealing bases in West Coast League play. Michael Carpentier Jr., have to mention every time he's behind the plate, 14 for 30 throwing out would-be base stealers. Caught stealing percentage just under 500. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Corona is going to drop one into right field. Just stabbed at one, and it had some spin on it, so Blake Dickman has some trouble picking that one up, and Malachi Knight, with plenty of speed, goes first to third easily on the play. Another one that wasn't played clean by the outfielder, but probably didn't make a difference, as Knight was going to go first to third on that one regardless. That brings us to the top of the lineup. And back to Cody Schreier as the Bells lead 2-0 and have runners on the corners with 2 outs. Blake Dickman is in right field mostly because they want to keep his bat in the lineup. And they've got Sam Olson DHing with Carpentier behind the plate. Dickman can play the corner outfield positions and obviously has played the corner outfield positions. That foul ball got a big piece of Jacob Asher. And Michael Carpentier Jr., the experienced catcher, immediately starts walking out to the mound to buy Asher some time. Carpentier, quick chat to Kykendahl, but really staring back at Asher the entire time to see if it's okay to come back, and it looks like it is. That one, I think, got him on the arm, it looks like, or the hip. It was kind of hard to tell. Asher, a veteran. One of those guys that doesn't really like to show where he got hurt or that it hurts at all. The 0-1 pitch, runner goes. Carpentier down to second, caught in a pickle, and they're going to concede the run to third, trying to get the runner. He avoids the tag. No, he does get tagged. So Emilio Corona does the job. He gets caught up in a pickle between first and second, and the runner, Malachi Knight, scores from third. The Bells score 3 in the top of the second. They'll take a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the second. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Pippins, who look to repeat what the Bells just did. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
Calm and certainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting.
Come on, welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back. Bottom of the second inning. Willie Lajoie leading things off for the Pippins. He'll be followed by Michael Carpentier Jr. and Blake Dickman as the Pippins now trail 3-0. All 3 of those runs unearned by Seth Kykendahl. Strike taken at the knees by Lajoie. Kykendahl got a fly out, then walked Charlie Somm. Ty Saunders popped up to the first baseman Lajoie. And then A.J. Davis had possibly grounded out, but Cabalas threw the ball away to allow the inning to continue. 0-1 pitch, and Lajoie grounds it over to Ty Saunders at second base. Outmade at first. That is out number 1. Michael Carpentier Jr. to the plate, who just caught Emilio Corona stealing. We've seen that play before for the Pippins, first and third play, and usually the Pippins have put on a delayed steal. But the Bells went with the straight steal option, having the runner turn around about 3/4 of the way down after the throw got there. He easily had Emilio Corona caught at second base. So Corona turns around, gets into the pickle, allowing the runner Malachi Knight to score from third base. The Pippins thought about throwing home. I don't know whether they had talked about it ahead of time that they were going to concede that run, or Mason Marenko just didn't think he would be able to get the out at home. But either way, they decided to focus on the runner from first, Corona, tag him out to at least get out of the inning, but 3-run score for the Bells. 1-1 count to Carpentier. Strike called on the outside corner, and now it's 1-2. Zach Simon, right-hander on the mound for the Bellingham Bells. Last appearance came on August 11th in Cowlitz. Pitched an inning, gave up 3 earned runs on 1 hit with 2 walks and a strikeout as Carpentier fouls one off, and it's 1-2 still. He did not have an appearance against the Yakima Valley Pippins this summer. So this is the first time they've seen him. 1-2 pitch to Carpentier, and he takes just off the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Count even, the 2-2. And inside, just a bit inside, full count for the catcher Carpentier. First batter to get a full count against Zach Simon. He's been in the driver's seat thus far, allowed a leadoff single in the bottom of the first to Connor Cobalis, but then a double play and a line out ended it. Got Lajoie to ground out to start this inning, and Carpentier fouls off another pitch. Mentioned Zach Simon out of Corbin University. Led the Cascade Collegiate Conference in ERA at the end of the regular season with a 1.93 earned run average as Carpentier takes a ball around his feet for ball 4. Went back to the backstop, but Carpentier takes his time getting down to first base. So he walks, second batter to reach against Simon, first walk allowed. And here's Blake Dickman. Here in the West Coast League, that 1.93 regular season ERA for Zach Simon turned into a 4.03 ERA amongst West Coast League batters. 29 innings of work, so slightly smaller sample size as he misses up high to Dickman, and it's 1-0. Runner on first base, Carpentier. Does have 2 stolen bases on the year. Simon throws over to first. I doubt it's because of the 2 stolen bases he has this summer. One of them came earlier in the year, I believe actually in Bellingham, on a ball that got away from the catcher. Carpentier was able to take second easily. Here's the 1-0. Fouled off by Dickman, and it's 1-1. More recently, he had a stolen base that was a legitimate bona fide straight steal. Just got the timing down against the pitcher he was facing and swiped second base. One of those guys that you don't necessarily keep too close of an eye on, and well, if you don't, he can capitalize. As an experienced catcher, one of the higher baseball IQs on the team, Dickman fouls one off his own foot. And it's 1-2. Dickman, by the way, if you weren't tuned into the Mixler broadcast last night, you missed the incredible, harrowing tale of Blake Dickman getting a splinter in the bottom of his foot the other day. Came in, showed up yesterday, hopped on the bus, and it was uncomfortable to walk on the splinter. He wound up removing it himself, again, on the bottom of his foot. Another throw over to first, and Carpentier slides back in safely. He had purchased during one of our stops on the way to Bellingham, purchased some materials, tweezers and disinfecting wipes. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball into right field. Malachi Knight, couple steps back. No tag from Carpentier, and the catch made for out number 2. Just to put a button on that story about Dickman, obviously played last night. I asked him right before the game how it was feeling. He said it felt perfectly fine once he was able to get it out. And I was curious. You know, he's a public health major, but he is a college student who operated on the bottom of his own foot. So I was curious today, came in and asked how it was feeling. Did it see any sort of infection or anything like that? And he said, no, perfectly fine once he got it out of his foot. Easily one of the best decisions he's made in the last week. Mason Marenko at the plate, fouls the first pitch back to the screen, and it's 0-1. Michael Carpentier Jr. still on first base after walking on 8 pitches with 1 out. Other 2 batters in this inning, a ground out and a fly out. Marenko, his first at-bat tonight, did not play last night. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Takes on the outside corner for strike 2, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. The younger Marenko brother, Spencer, did get the start last night. He went 1 for 3. Was caught stealing in the second inning. Goes from Marenko to Marenko at second base. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Mason holds off a pitch in the dirt. 1-2. Mason will be a redshirt junior at Gonzaga in the fall. Saw plenty of action for him this past spring. Is expected to go back and do the same thing next spring. The 1-2 pitch, he takes at the knees, called strike 3. And Zach Simon's first strikeout of the night gets him out of the bottom of the second inning. Bellingham leads 3-0. We go to the third. Top of the lineup due up for the Bells. We'll be right back. You're tuning in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Top of the third inning, Chris Rosado Jr. Happy to have you along. Also, a big hello to any Bellingham fans tuning in tonight to watch the team on the road. If you weren't able to make the trip, trust me, I know it's a long ride. Just made the trip there and back last night alongside the team. But happy to be here for game number 2 on a beautiful Sunday evening in Yakima. Sun beginning to set. There was or still is, a lot of smoke overhead here in Yakima. Nice big smoky haze. Not as bad as it was earlier this week. Ball taken inside by Cody Schreier to start things off here in the top of the third inning. It is currently 91 degrees here in Yakima. 1-0 pitch. Misses inside again, and it's 2-0. Trying to bite that inside corner and just haven't been able to find it yet. Obviously, the smoke overhead, not the best situation to be in, especially to be outside for a live sporting event. Bouncer over to the shortstop, Kobalas. This time his throw is on target and beats out Schreier by half a step for out number 1. Great play by Connor Kobalas. Finds the target that time and puts it right on the money to get Schreier out. Schreier led off the third because he was at the plate when Emilio Corona was caught stealing second base. That'll bring us to Nick McLean. Flew out in his first at-bat. 1 out and nobody on here in the third inning. The Bells leading 3-0. First pitch. And he takes at the knees for a called strike 1. As I was saying, the smoky haze, not optimal conditions for a baseball game, but one in which the teams are going to stick through here in game number 2. Ball misses down low, 1-1. However, the one thing it does bring us, if you are in the stadium, you get to see a nice sunset as the pink from the sun will make its way through the haze and really accentuates the sunset here in Yakima. Ball down low. Looks like it caught a piece of Jacob Asher. 2 balls and 1 strike for McLean, left-handed hitter. Kykendahl out of the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Misses up high above the letters, 3-1. There really isn't any direct sunlight here at the ballpark because of the covered sky. Here's the 3-1. And McLean grounds one over to the second baseman, Mason Marenko, sets up his feet and throws to first. Had a little extra time compared to the one Caballas just had to deal with, but either way, 2 groundouts and 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning for Seth Kykendahl. Exactly what he needed to do to help rebound after the 3-run inning in the second, in which really he did what he needed to do. He did walk Charlie Somm, who was the first batter to reach against him in this game, after getting him to a full count, but then got a fly out for out number 2 and had a ground out to the shortstop, Connor Caballas. If that doesn't get thrown away, Kykendahl is through the 2nd inning without a run, but the error allows the Bells to capitalize. They score 2 runs on the single by Malachi Knight that puts runners on the, or actually Emilio Corona puts runners on the corners with another single. Hard hit grounder, third base line, just goes foul in front of the bag. And it's 1-1 to Luis Aviles. The 2-run single by Malachi Knight. Then Corona had the single to put runners on the corners with 2 outs. The Bells put on the 1st and 3rd play, asking Corona to get caught stealing, and he obliges, scoring the runner Knight from 3rd base for a 3-run inning. The 1-1 pitch, and it's fouled off. 1-2. So obviously after the error, a couple of hits helped the Bells against Kykendahl, but as I said, without that error, Kykendahl is through the 2nd inning without a run. Instead, they score 3 and lead 3-0 as the Pippins have not been able to get a runner past first base so far tonight. Kykendahl shakes and now nods. Here comes the 1-2 with 2 outs. Taken in the dirt. It was a long take by Aviles, kind of lunged into that one. Usually suggests he suspected that one was going to leave the zone. He kind of kept the hands ready just in case he had to throw the bat at it, but watched it and tracked it as it ended up dropping out for a ball. The 2-2 pitch, and that one's just inside. Full count for him. Kykendahl did not have a 3-ball count in the 1st inning, 3 batters he faced. He had 3 of them last inning, and this is the 2nd one here in the 3rd inning. 2 outs and nobody on. For Aviles, Kykendahl delivers the payoff pitch, popped up. Shallow right field, Blake Dickman out in front, and he will make the catch. Almost got handcuffed at the end of that one, but it's another 3-up, 3-down inning. So the top 3 batters so far hitless against Seth Kykendahl. And it's the rest of the lineup that proves to be the problem. It's the rest of the lineup that Seth Kykendahl will have to face when he gets to the top of the 4th inning. But first, the Pippins get a chance in the bottom of the 3rd. First at-bats for Alex Shanks and Taylor Holder. And then we go back to the top of the order with Connor Caballas in the bottom of the 3rd. 3-0 Bells. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Bottom of the third inning, Alex Shanks to lead things off for the Pippins, followed by Taylor Holder, and then Connor Kobalas. Alex Shanks last night, 0 for 3. 3 flyouts for him, 1 to the first baseman and 2 to the left fielder. Still breaking in a new bat. That baby blue Marucci he's been using for the last week. I love to mention, just because I absolutely love the color, I think it looks great, and it'll look great in the batter's box for Gonzaga in next spring. He'll go back as a sophomore in the fall. First pitch ball, second pitch fouled off, and it's 1-1 for the left fielder Shanks. The third inning of tonight's game is brought to you by Yakima Pediatric Dentistry. Located at 3909 Creekside Loop in Yakima, Yakima Pediatric Dentistry offers specialized care for infants, kids, and teens in a safe, fun environment for children as they begin their lifetime journey to maintaining a healthy smile. Swing and a miss for Alex Shanks. The Pippins certainly pleased so far with Seth Kykendahl's performance. Obviously would prefer that the 3 runs didn't happen in the second inning, but Kykendahl, at least in the stat line, is at no fault for those runs. Ball misses high and outside to Shanks. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Simon out of the windup, misses in the dirt, and it's a full count for Shanks to start his at-bat. Kykendahl in 3 innings so far has allowed just 2 hits, 3 runs, as I said, all unearned. 1 walk, and he has not struck out a batter, but has been effective nonetheless. The payoff pitch to Shanks, grounded up the middle. The shortstop was playing closer to the third base bag, so it's a base hit. Shanks with a big league turn at first, now heads back with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third inning. They were playing Shanks on the heavy pull down the third base side. Left a big gap up the middle. That ball was hit right towards where the shortstop would normally be positioned. And instead, Cody Schreier was unable to catch up to it. Shanks took the big turn just in case anyone was lackadaisical getting to that ball or perhaps had trouble fielding it. But the Bells were on top of it quickly. So Shanks with a leadoff single. Here's Taylor Holder, who wore number 11 last night, and he is number 11 officially. Except when the Pippins wear their white jerseys, which they are tonight. Pippins do not have a number 11, so Taylor Holder wears number 6. First pitch to him. Takes a ball. Well, takes a strike. I thought it was a strike call, but there was no point from Asher. It just came late, and it's 0-1. Holder had turned around to ask him if that was going to be the low outside limit, and Asher nodded his head yes. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one misses low. So it looks like he kept his word to Taylor Holder that time, because that pitch looked just a little bit lower and gets called a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike for the center fielder, Taylor Holder. That one gets back to that low outside corner. All 3 pitches of this at-bat have been not the exact same location, but they've been trying for the exact same location, that low outside corner to Taylor Holder. Which is interesting with Ty Saunders playing near the second base bag. There's a big hole over at first. Of course, Avila is the first baseman holding on Shanks. They throw over and Shanks gets dirty but back in safely. So a large hole on the right side of the infield, and really that's the only place Taylor Holder can take that pitch. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, and he hit it once. It bounced off the plate and came up and hit his bat a second time. So still 1-2. Both teams with just 2 hits so far. Bells only ones with a run so far, and they've got 3 of them as Taylor Holder takes a pitch, I believe that missed up high, 2-2. There is, of course, another game going on in the West Coast League. Over in the South, their divisional round being played as well. 2-2 pitch to Taylor Holder. Pops one up out of play on the first base side. By the way, they have worked away from that low outside corner. Just the first 3 pitches of the at-bat. The rest have been in different spots. Corvallis, who also won both halves of their division in the South, and Ridgefield, who had the second best overall winning percentage. Corvallis won game 1, and they're ahead in game 2 as well. The 2-2, Holder rips a grounder to the third baseman, A.J. Davis, and it goes off the glove of the second baseman, Ty Saunders. So potential double play would have been the second of the game for the Bells, and instead that one goes off the glove of Ty Saunders. Stays around the dirt, so Alex Shanks can't go anywhere. Holder reaches on the fielder's choice. The error allows Shanks to advance to second. And we go back to the top of the lineup. Connor Corvallis, who led off the bottom of the first inning with a single before the Bells were able to turn a double play. No outs in the bottom of the third as the Pippins try to claw their way back from a 3-0 deficit. The first baseman of Aviles is well on the grass over at first, away from the line. Third baseman Davis is playing even with the third baseline. Shanks on second, Holder on first. First pitch to Corvallis keeps the bat back and fouls one off on the first base side. It's 0-1. Corvallis certainly somebody who could lay down a sacrifice bunt, and obviously this is a sacrifice situation. But with the Bells having the infield, or at least the first baseman drawn forward, we'll see what Crest Angel decides to call for. Obviously had Corvallis swing at the first pitch. The 0-1, bat stays back again, and another foul ball on the first base side. Corvallis just trying to drop one into the shallow right field area. Malachi Knight playing rather deep in the right field corner. Corvallis, not someone who's going to blow you away with the bat. He has had four doubles over the summer. Gets on base quite a bit. That's why he's at the top of the lineup. The 0-2 pitch. Off speed, and he rips a line drive through the left side of the infield, past the glove of Cody Schreier. But Alex Shanks had to wait to make sure the catch wasn't made, so he gets to third base, but nothing more. And the Pippins have the bases loaded with no outs for Chaz Myers. Myers grounded into the double play back in the first inning. There are no outs with the bases loaded. As much as you hate to speak it into existence, even that hit could produce a run. Infield corners playing in, the middle infielders playing back. The shortstop well away from the second base bag. Ball misses outside to Myers. I mentioned that because normally when you've got the middle infielders playing back, you're expecting a double play ball, and they really are, keeping the shortstop Schreier back because they expect Myers to hit it to him. That's where his double play ball went in the first. But if Myers can put anything over to the right side of the infield, past the first baseman Aviles, nobody is going to get to second in time to cover for the double play. Chaz Myers takes a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Big situation for the Pippins. This is the first inning in which they've had a runner in scoring position. They've got two of them with the bases loaded and no outs. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Zach Simon. And Myers lines one into center field. Racing in, it will drop. The center fielder, Nick McLean, was deking everyone. He softly jogged up on that one, acting like he might have a chance to catch it. Everyone was waiting back, but now after they saw it drop, they were able to advance. Alex Shanks scores. The throw went to the plate. It was off target and not in time. So one run scores on the RBI base hit by Chaz Myers. That leaves Taylor Holder on third base, Connor Corvallis on second, and Myers on first. Corners still playing in. Middle infielder still back for Sam Olson, who lined out to the right fielder in the first inning. Same situation, but now the Pippins trail 3-1. Olson takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. That was a great defensive play by Nick McLean. Knew he wasn't going to come up and make the catch. Had the glove up in the air and everything to sell it to the runners, to act like he could make the catch. Everyone had to wait back with no outs. Nobody wants a double play. Sam Olsen calls time at the plate as Zach Simon was taking too long. And now it looks like a mound visit for the Bellingham Bells. The Bells do have a pitcher in the bullpen. As the pressure on here in the bottom of the third. Looks like Ryan Bytel is the pitcher getting loose down in the bullpen. It's just a quick chat to buy him some extra time. The Bells lead by 2, but the Pippins have the bases loaded with no outs. Check on that other game in the South. Corvallis, as I said, won game 1. They're ahead 9-0 in the top of the 6th inning as they host game 2. Have the potential to sweep the Ridgefield Raptors, and they would play the winner of this series between Yakima and Bellingham. As we said back at the top of the broadcast, Bellingham won game 1, so it couldn't get any simpler. The Pippins have to win this game or their season is over. Bellingham, meanwhile, if they do lose tonight, gets another shot tomorrow night in the best-of-3 series. The Pippins hosting games 2 and 3 if necessary. So if the Pippins pull out the win here in game 2, the Pippins will host game 3 tomorrow night as well. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt following the mound visit, and it's 1-1 for Olsen. The DH tonight, been one of the hotter hitters. Saw the average drop a bit over the last few games of the regular season to 268. Here's the 1-1. Simon misses low and away. It's 2-1. Alex Shanks led off the inning with a base hit. Taylor Holder grounded into a potential double play ball. Hard grounder to the third baseman, but the throw skipped away from Ty Saunders, allowing both runners to safely advance. Runners on first and second. Then Kobala singled and Chaz Myers singled to bring home a run. Ball in the dirt blocked by Charlie Somm. Good block by him with Taylor Holder on third base. 3 balls and 1 strike for Sam Olsen. As Bytel continues to get loose down in the bullpen, and Simon tries to fight his way back here in the bottom of the third inning. Last night's starter Tommy O'Rourke for Bellingham went 4 innings, allowing just 1 run. 3-1 pitch, and that hit Sam Olsen on his elbow guard. That will force home a run, and it's now a 1-run game. That will bring Willie Lajoie to the plate. And there it is. Expected after the mound visit with Bytel down in the bullpen, as long as he was ready after the hit by pitch with the bases loaded. In a playoff situation, you kind of can't stick with that pitcher. So the Bells will make a change. We'll have that for you as we continue on in the bottom of the third inning. 2 runs already for the Pippins. They still have the bases loaded and no outs. And it's a 3-2 game. We'll be right back. You're tuning into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back as we continue in the bottom of the third inning. 2 runs already for the Pippins. After a leadoff single and an error helped the Pippins keep the inning going on a potential double play ball. Taylor Holder reached on a fielder's choice. Cobalis singled to load the bases with no outs to start the inning. And then Chaz Myers singled home a run. Sam Olson was hit by a pitch to force home another run. Bases still loaded and still no outs. And it's the cleanup hitter, Willie Lajoie, who will step to the plate to face Ryan Bytel. Comes into this game this summer, 1-2 record on the mound in 12 relief appearances, 1.53 ERA. He had 2 saves as well. Just over 29 innings of work. He had 31 strikeouts to 10 walks, a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. That is not something to scoff at. Comes into this game in a big situation. 3 runners on and has to get 3 outs. 1 run ties the game. First pitch is a ball to Willie Lajoie. Runners on the corner, or infield corners playing in. Luis Aviles on the cut of the grass. A.J. Davis at third base, just behind the grass. Middle infielders playing back. The 1-0 pitch from Bytel. He takes just below the knees, and it's 2-0. Bytel, plenty stretched out for a reliever. 3 or more innings of relief in his last 3 West Coast League appearances. The 2-0 to Lajoie. He pops one up out of play, and it's 2-1. Last outing came on August 5th in Portland. Through 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts for Bytel. Yakima has seen him twice this summer. Long hold. Here's the 2-1. And Lajoie takes low. It's 3-1. Well, the old adage, a walk is as good as a hit. A walk here for Willie Lajoie will tie the game in the bottom of the third inning. Lajoie had 20 of them over the summer. Here's the 3-1 from Bytel. And Lajoie goes chasing on that one, fouling it off back to the backstop. It's a full count. Last time the Pippins saw Bytel was back on July 10th when the Bells won second game of the series 3-0. He pitched 2 scoreless innings as the Bells shut out the Pippins 3-0. Allowed just 1 hit over those 2 innings. The payoff pitch to Lajoie, fouls one off his foot. Back to Carpentier on the on-deck circle, who was going to return it to the catcher, Charlie Somm, but he wasn't paying attention, so instead returns it to his own dugout. Lajoie, the first baseman, who will go back to Chico State as a senior, who's been tearing it up for the Pippins this summer. Made all the more impressive by the fact he did not get to play a college season in the spring. Payoff pitch again, goes chasing up high on that one, and he is out number 1 on the strikeout by Ryan Bytel. Michael Carpentier Jr., the catcher tonight, also started behind the plate last night. He walked in his first plate appearance back in the second inning on an 8-pitch at-bat. Bats with the bases loaded still, this time with 1 out. Willie Lajoie had a 3-1 count. Ryan Bytel fought back and got him to strike out swinging on a fastball up high. Always a tough one to lay off, especially for a hitter like Lajoie, who's got as much pop in the bat. Those always look like a pitch that you can give a ride. Here's the first pitch to Carpentier. Swings and misses on a pitch on the low outside corner. That one had some movement away from the bat. Carpentier thought he had something to pull. You talk about a guy who can really punish some baseballs. Carpentier is one of them. When he barrels up a baseball, pitchers pay for it. The 0-1 he takes inside for ball 1. 1-1 count for the left-handed hitting Carpentier. The only left-hander in the lineup for the Pippins tonight. Also was the only left-hander in the lineup last night. He was replaced by Corey Jarrell in the lineup. Jarrell went to go play right field as Dickman caught. Off the inside of the hands, third baseman was playing in, so it goes over his head. 1 run scores. The second one from second will score. Connor Cobalis and Chaz Myers. And forget about tying this game. Michael Carpentier Jr. has just given the Pippins the lead. They're up 4-3 in the bottom of the third inning. Well, I mentioned Carpentier, a guy who can really punish some baseballs. He's also a guy who can make some weak contact and still end up with a 2-run base hit. Let's take another look at that one real quick. Pitch comes inside to Michael Carpentier Jr. He hits it in near the handle, and it just goes the other way. Third baseman A.J. Davis was playing in, unable to make the leaping grab. Chaz Myers had a great read on that play, looking at it from second base. He was running all the way and able to score from second on the play, with Cobalis scoring from third. The Pippins score 2 and are now ahead 4-3. Blake Dickman at the plate, fouled off the first pitch as he tries to continue this inning. 1 out, runners on first and second as he bats for the first time. Flew out to right field in his first at-bat back in the second inning. First at-bat against Bytel, the 0-1 pitch. Floats a changeup that misses up high. Easy take for Dickman, and it's 1-1. Dickman finished second on the team this summer with a .409 on base percentage. He's a guy who has come up in some big situations, and his bat has certainly paved the way, including against the Bellingham Bells in the regular season. Here's the 1-1 from Bytel. Another off-speed pitch taken up high. Those are 2 easy takes for Blake Dickman. 16 walks on the season. He's more than happy to take what is given to him by the pitchers. Runners on first and second and 1 out, the 2-1, and he takes low that time on the fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike. Dickman has to be careful. Ryan Bytel has enough confidence to keep throwing his pitches, even in a 3-1 count. Fought back against LaJoie to get the strikeout for the only out of this inning. The 3-1 pitch, and Dickman gives this one a ride. Line drive into the left field corner. Sam Olson will score from second. On his way to third goes Carpentier. The throw is off target. Carpentier goes first to third. Blake Dickman pumped. The dugout is pumped, and the Pippins are ahead 5-3 in the bottom of the third inning. That's the kind of hit we've come to expect from Blake Dickman. And here's another hit we can take a second look at. Ryan Bytel with a 3-1 count. Dickman expecting fastball, gets what he was looking for, and pulls the line drive into the left field corner. He's come up big with some big hits. That time, it's big not by how far he hit it, but by where he puts it. Far enough into the corner for Sam Olson to score all the way from second, and Carpentier to race around first to third. By the way, all 5 batters that Zach Simon faced here to start the bottom of the third inning reached and have scored. So all 5 of the runners that he put on have scored. 4 of them earned by Zach Simon. Bytel's first runners, Carpentier and Dickman, are on the corners with 1 out. Mason Marenko took the first 2 pitches for balls, and it's 2-0. Mason is the 9th batter of this inning. First 5, as I said, against Zach Simon, and the 3 plus Mason Marenko against Ryan Bytel. And it looks like Jim Clem, the pitching coach for the Bellingham Bells, is starting to amble his way down to his bullpen to take stock of his inventory and see who could potentially throw next. Delivers a message, and we'll head back to the dugout after the mound visit from the catcher, Charlie Somm. Now The Bells call for a first and third defensive play. We saw the Bells use one earlier. It was a straight steal play by Malachi Knight, turned around after the ball got to second base, got into the pickle to score the run. Here with one out in the bottom of the third inning, Pippins up 5-3. Dickman on first base, Carpentier on third. Bytel delivers the 2-0. Marenko, grounder, bouncer to the shortstop. Has enough time to go to second. The throw to first is not in time. So they get the out at second. Carpentier scores from third, and the Pippins lead 6-3. And they've officially batted around in this inning. That ball was to the right of Cody Schreier. He had to go a decent ways to get to it. It was impressive. He had the footwork and confidence in his arm to turn around and throw back to second base to at least get what was or what would have ended up being the lead runner after Carpentier scored on the play. 3-run lead for the Pippins after coming into this inning with a 3-run deficit. And Alex Shanks bats for the second time. He started this inning with a base hit against Zach Simon. Two outs in the inning with Mason Marenko on first base. Bytel comes set, glances over to first, and now delivers the 1-0. Shanks lines one right at the second baseman, Ty Saunders, playing closer up the middle, and it was hit right to him. So great positioning by the Bells. They finally get out of it. 10 batters to the plate in the third. We go to the fourth. Pippins now ahead, 6-3. And we'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Top of the fourth inning, 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Bellingham Bells. Seth Kykendahl, who's been sitting for a while, comes back out for the fourth inning against the Bells and now finds himself, instead of down by 3, with a 3-run lead. First pitch is a strike to Cole Hinkleman, leading things off. Hinkleman flew out to the center fielder, Taylor Holder, back in the second inning. Big left-handed hitter. The 0-1 pitch and misses high and outside, 1-1. Hinkleman, 6'4", 213 pounds. A large frame, and he uses it well. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed on the off-speed outside, and it's 1-2. The Pippins are going to stick with Kykendahl as deep into this game as they can. Kykendahl has gone almost the distance this season. He pitched 8 innings in Wenatchee a few weeks back. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, and Cole Hinkleman is the first strikeout of the night for Seth Kykendahl, starting things off in the top of the fourth. Well, Kykendahl clearly not bothered by sitting for the last 20 or so minutes as the Pippins sent. First 5 batters of the bottom of the third inning were able to reach against Zach Simon. The Bells had a mound visit and then replaced Simon with Ryan Bytel, who allowed a couple more runs to score First pitch to Charlie Somm. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Charlie Somm was the first batter to reach against Seth Kykendahl back in the second inning. He walked with a full count. The 0-1 pitch. Inside corner. Somm thought about swinging, decided not to, and a strike called against him, and he's quickly in the hole 0-2. Goes through a number of options with Carpentier, now finds the one he wants. A little bit of a hitch in the windup there, and he misses up high on the fastball. I don't think that was intentional by Kykendahl. As he stepped off to the side, he looked like he tripped on something or didn't have the footing he wanted. Still went through with the windup and missed up high. The 1-2, smoother windup that time. Line drive into center. Taylor Holder had some trouble. Kind of got foot tied there, but ends up underneath it to make the catch for out number 2. First two batters retired in the top of the fourth inning. Here's Ty Saunders, who popped up to Willie Lajoie behind the first base bag back in the second inning. Pippins had to use 4 pitchers last night: Kenny Johnson, Dylan Bishop, Peyton Robertson, and Julian Todden-Chabot. As Ty Saunders fouls off the first pitch, it's 0-1. Now, of course, head coach Kyle Crustangel, as he said during our pregame interview during the pregame show, he made sure to mention that the closers are still fresh. They weren't used last night. The 0-1 lined out of play on the third base side, and it's 0-2. And some of the other strong, especially hard-throwing arms in the bullpen for the Pippins, they were not used either. So plenty of options going into tonight, but the less pitchers the Pippins have to use in Game 2, the better they will be for a possible Game 3. Seth Kykendahl switched up the windup that time, almost slide-stepping in the windup. Saunders was still able to get a piece of it, still 0-2. Through the windup again, high leg kick, and the 0-2 off-speed pitch that he lines onto the tent covering the right field picnic deck. Still no balls and 2 strikes for Ty Saunders with 2 outs and nobody on. Now, with that being said, the Pippins are in a position they cannot play for a Game 3. They have to win this game. No balls and 2 strikes. Kykendahl threw the windup, ball in the dirt, and it's the first ball thrown to Ty Saunders in this at-bat. So if Kykendahl does end up running into trouble, and the Pippins have to burn all of their closers or top relievers, that is simply the price of admission to get to a Game 3 in a series like this. Obviously, series to follow if the Pippins can advance. 1-2 pitch, misses outside and high. Kykendahl didn't like that one out of the hand. Not sure if the grip wasn't there. Saunders, who was behind 0-2 and fouled a couple pitches off, has taken 2 straight balls. Kykendahl with a shake, now finds the pitch he wants, comes back with the 2-2. Backdoor breaking ball, Saunders gets a piece of, and it's another foul ball as he continues to dig his heels in this at-bat. Bellingham Bells scored 3 runs in the top of the second inning. Pippins 6 just now in the bottom of the third. Pippins lead 6-3 here in the top of the fourth inning. 2-2 count with 2 outs to Ty Saunders with nobody on. Pitch again from Kykendahl, and this time swung on and missed. Strikeout number 2 for Kykendahl in the game and in the inning, and he retires the side in order in the top of the fourth. We go back to the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's 9-1-2 due up for the Pippins. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we had gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the bottom of the 4th inning here in Yakima. Game 2 of the West Coast League Divisional Series between the Pippins and the Bellingham Bells. It will be Taylor Holder, and then the top of the lineup, Connor Caballas and Chaz Myers to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th. Pippins ahead 6-3. I'm Chris Rosato Jr. Happy to have you along. Been here with the Pippins all season long. Happy to have you here in the playoffs as well. Ryan Beitel getting set to start his 2nd inning of work on the mound. This is up high to Taylor Holder, and it's 1-0. Zach Simon ran into trouble in the 3rd. An error certainly didn't help him out, but 3 hits against him and 1 hit batter. In the first 5 batters, all 5 got on. A couple runs scored. Left with the bases loaded and no outs as Taylor Holder foul tips one. Ryan Beitel came in. He got all 3 outs, but not without allowing all of the runs to score that were on base. And ball taken low and away, and it's 2-1. And then after Carpentier had singled to score 2 of those runs, he later came around to score. So that run was credited to Beitel. Zach Simon officially threw 2 innings as Holder plops one up into right field. Malachi Knight covers some ground and catches up to it to make the catch. That almost looked like it would end up being a bloop single for Taylor Holder. Instead, Malachi Knight makes it look like a routine catch. Saw a lot of those bloop singles go the Bellingham Bells way last night, as well as, trust me, plenty of hard-hit baseballs. Not excusing the 14-1 win on bloop singles by them, but a number of them certainly helped their cause. The Pippins have had a couple that helped them out in that 3rd inning. Here's the first pitch to Caballas. He takes outside for ball 1. As I was saying, Zach Simon, 2 innings of work, 3 hits. Actually, 4 hits against him. As Caballas pops one up, shallow center field. Out comes the shortstop, and he makes the catch. Cody Schreier. Center fielder Nick McLean was coming in, might have caught up to that. Ty Saunders, the second baseman, was also out, but Schreier calls them both off and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 fly balls that were tough plays but caught easily by the Bells defense. And there's 2 quick outs in the 4th for Chaz Myers. Simon allowed 5 runs, 4 of them earned. 1 walk and 1 strikeout for him, along with the hit batter. First pitch to Chaz Myers from Ryan Beitel. That one was not swung at or fouled off by Myers, and I don't even think Charlie Som's glove got a piece of it. And I think it hit the bicep of Jacob Asher, who initially grabbed his arm, and then he's gone back and forth between wanting to grab it and trying not to grab it. The Pippins trainer is out to check on him. That's going to be a bruise for sure. Big baseball-sized bruise with some horseshoe seams on him. It looks like the Pippins trainer checking him out. I think it hit him on the forearm, actually, possibly the wrist area. As I said, Chaz Myers took a ball on that pitch. He did not swing the bat. It wasn't a foul ball. And again, I think Charlie Som's glove didn't get a piece of it either. So that one just went straight from the hand of Ryan Beitel to the lower forearm or wrist area of Jacob Asher. And let me tell you, if Charlie Som's glove did not catch that ball or touch that ball, and he is going to be in some hot water with Jacob Asher behind the plate. Asher, a veteran umpire. That is certainly one way to not get on the good side of a home plate umpire. Arguably should have caught it anyways. Might have gotten crossed up, and that's certainly understandable. But even then, it doesn't explain away the pain currently ringing through the left arm of Jacob Asher, who's still trying to shake it out after calling a strike to Chaz Myers. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pippins ahead 6-3. For the 1-1 pitch, bounces inside, and it's 2-1 for Myers. Myers grounded into a double play back in the 1st inning. Stepped to the plate with the bases loaded and no outs in the 3rd and dropped a bloop base hit straight away shallow center field, bringing home the 1st run of the game for the Pippins. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and he lines that one out of play over the grandstands on the first base side. That will certainly find someone's car out in the parking lot. Two balls and 2 strikes for the 3rd baseman, Chaz Myers. Bytel delivers. And Myers lines one closer to fair, but still foul down the right field side and out of play. Keeps himself in the count. By the way, checking on the Corvallis-Ridgefield game going on in Corvallis right now. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Corvallis currently leading 9-0. Ridgefield has just 3 hits. Corvallis has used 4 different pitchers. The championship series would start on Tuesday. So all those pitchers will get a day off for the Knights. 2-2 pitch. Myers pops one up, right side of the infield. First baseman Luis Aviles makes the call for it. Over to his left and makes the catch for out number 3. So after a 6-run 3rd inning, the Pippins are retired in order. 3 flyouts in the bottom of the 4th. Ryan Bytel gets through a clean 4th inning. And it looks like Seth Kykendahl will return for a 5th inning. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Bells. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for the top of the 5th inning. Chris Rosado Jr., voice alongside Pippins baseball games throughout this summer, and as announced on pippinsbaseball.com and across our social media pages yesterday, we'll be returning for a 2nd season next summer. So really hope you didn't mind having my voices blast through your speakers throughout the summer. Pippins coaching staff was the bigger part of that story. They're also returning next year. First pitch to A.J. Davis, misses low and away from Seth Kykendahl, 1-0 count. Head coach Kyle Crustangel in his first year at the helm of the Pippins after spending the last few seasons with the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Line drive into center field. Taylor Holder with a late read forward, but he does sprint forward to make the catch, and that's out number 1. Holder off the bat thought that was going to be to his left, then realized it was straight ahead of him. Managed to catch up to it and make the catch. Here's Malachi Knight. Malachi Knight had a 2-run single back in the 2nd inning. This is his 2nd at-bat now. First pitch tonight. Drops a breaking ball in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. So the coaching staff here with the Pippins, who also coach over at Yakima Valley College, local staff, staying local next summer as well. Malachi Knight pops one up out of play on the first base side, and it's 0-2 quickly for him. Marcus Mckinney was the former head coach of the Yakima Valley Pippins. He had coached the Pippins since back in 2014 when the team joined the West Coast League. 0-2 pitch, and Malachi Knight lines one into right field. Blake Dickman on the run, and it takes an awkward hop off the grass. It ends up behind him. Now he picks it up, but Malachi Knight with a stand-up double. And at one point during that sprint around the bases, he thought about trying for 3. Really turned the jets off halfway down to second base as he knew he was cruising in for a double. That one was tailing away from Dickman. It was going to be a tough one for Dickman to catch up to. Remember, Blake Dickman is a catcher by trade. He can play first base, can play the corner outfield positions. But the speed for him, pretty similar to what you would expect from a catcher or perhaps even a first baseman at the college level. That one was tailing away from him, was going to be a tough play, but he got in the neighborhood. Unfortunately, when it hit the grass, it bounced the unexpected way behind him, and Malachi Knight was able to easily cruise into second with a double. First pitch laced into the Pippins bullpen. Bounced over the short fence down there and hit something down in lefties. I'm hoping it wasn't one of the fans down there. First pitch strike to Emilio Corona. Had a single in the second that put Malachi Knight on third base, and then Corona was caught stealing second intentionally to allow Knight to score the 3rd run of the game for the Bells. Runner on second with 1 out, the 0-1. They go front door breaking ball, and it misses inside for a ball, 1-1. As I was saying, Crust Angel took over for Marcus Mckinney. He had also taken over for Marcus Mckinney at Yakima Valley College. When Mckinney stopped coaching there, Crust Angel took over. Strike delivered to Corona. And in his first season for Crust Angel back in 2016, Crust Angel led the Yaks to win the NWAC title. He was also named the Coach of the Year in the conference and the Regional Coach of the Year by the ABCA. Pippin certainly hoping that that tradition of taking over for McKinney and leading a team to a championship carries over into this summer. Fly ball into shallow center. Taylor Holder gets a read on it underneath it and makes the catch. Malachi Knight will stay at second base, and Seth Kykendahl has 2 outs with a runner on second as we head to the top of the lineup, Cody Schreier. Crust Angel also often talks about being a player's coach, and really the staff for the Pippins, all players coaches. Crust Angel played in the West Coast League for the Spokane Riverhawks once upon a time. Kelly Fitzpatrick, the pitching coach, also pitched for the Pippins back in the early days of the franchise. High fly ball, big swing from Schreier, foul territory near the bullpen, and that will bounce in lefties. Both Chaz Myers and Connor Kobalas were able to get down to the railing in the bullpen down in the left field foul territory. So Schreier with a first pitch strike. Schreier has walked up to the plate 4 times tonight. This is officially his 3rd at-bat. He was at the plate when Corona and Malachi Knight put on the 1st and 3rd play. Pippins leading 6-3 here in the top of the 5th inning. When we get to the bottom of the 5th, it will be 3, 4, and 5 for the Pippins. Kykendahl with the 0-1 pitch, and Schreier pops one up. Shallow right field. Out on the grass goes Mason Marenko, and he will make the catch for out number 3. So Malachi Knight has a one-out double, but he ends up getting stranded there. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Sam Olson, Willie Lajoie, and Michael Carpentier Jr. will lead things off, trying to add to the 6-3 lead. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The cloud of uncertainty!
With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Chris Rosato Jr. Happy to have you along for Game 2 of the West Coast League North Divisional Series. Bellingham Bells with a 14-1 victory last night. They pounced on the Pippins early. Just about every pitcher for the Pippins except for Julian, Todd, and Chabot allowed 3 or more runs. We're just hitting like crazy at home in front of their fans. Packed house in Bellingham. Here in Yakima, the Yakima faithful staying loud and proud throughout this one while the Pippins were down, and especially during their 6-run 3rd inning as the Pippins batted around to take the lead and have held the lead thus far. First pitch to Sam Olson to start the bottom of the 5th is a ball. Olson 0 for 1 with a line out. He was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded to force home a run. Lines went into center field on the run, but unable to catch up to it is the center fielder McLean. That ball will drop in for a base hit, and Sam Olson is on first to start the bottom of the 5th. That will bring Willie Lajoie to the plate. Struck out back in the 3rd inning. He was the first out and the first batter to face Ryan Bytel, who's still on the mound now. 2 complete innings of work. He's allowed 2 hits, 1 run charged to him. It was earned. No walks and 1 strikeout. And you can add the hit to Sam Olson to that. So 3 hits over his 2 innings so far. Lajoie hits a fly ball about a mile high behind home plate. That ball coming down and will bounce just to the left of my press box. Right in front of my window, actually. If I had known where it was, I might have been able to stick out the hand and make the catch, but the night sky makes that baseball completely disappear. I've got a roof over my head, so I don't have to worry about that ball coming down on me. The sun, by the way, as I alluded to just now, has completely set. The sky is black over Yakima. The lights here at Yakima County Stadium, the only thing keeping this game going. Ball in the dirt. Somm tried to pick it clean. He did not, but kept it out in front of him. And it's 1-1 for Lajoie with Sam Olson, the runner, on first base. Another pitcher getting loose down in the bullpen for the Bellingham Bells. I believe it is Kai Francis. And he might be about ready to go as he's throwing a pitch every few real pitches or in-game pitches. And Lajoie takes one the other way into right field. That will drop in for a base hit. Olson moves up to second. And Lajoie with his first hit of the night puts runners on first and second base with no outs for Michael Carpentier Jr., who had a 2-run single back in the 3rd inning. That gave the Pippins a 4-3 lead before the Pippins would add 2 more runs. He also had a walk in his first plate appearance, so he's 1 for 1 tonight. Every batter so far has reached tonight one way or another. The only batter in the lineup without a hit, actually 2 batters in the lineup without a hit, Mason Marenko and Taylor Holder, both reached on fielder's choices. Here's the first pitch to Carpentier, who takes low and away for ball 1. Carpentier going back to California Baptist University as a sophomore. Cal Baptist finished with 40 wins this year in their second year transitioning to the D1 level. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Carpentier. High fly ball. He got the barrel on that one, but he hit it just too high. It's in foul territory around first base, and making the catch is Luis Aviles. Runners have nowhere to go. Yeah, launch angle just a little bit off on that one. He knows it too, shaking his head with a smile on his face. That was the pitch that likely would have been a 3-run home run otherwise. Instead, turns into a pop-out for out number 1. Blake Dickman will step to the plate. He had an RBI single in the third as well. Bats with runners on first and second and 1 out. Pippins do have some players down in the bullpen, but not anyone getting warmed up right now. Kykendahl looks like he'll return for a 6th inning of work as Dickman takes strike 1 at the knees and inside. The Bells scored 3 runs in the top of the second inning. The Pippins scored 6 runs in the bottom of the third. That is all of the scoring so far as we're here in the bottom of the 5th. Bytel looks back at second. Here's the 0-1, and Dickman takes in the dirt. It's 1-1. Bells already on their second pitcher, Bytel, with a third one in the bullpen just in case Bytel struggles in this 5th. He allowed the first 2 batters aboard with singles before Carpentier popped out in foul territory to the first baseman. Dickman with Mason Marenko on deck. Dickman calls time. Bytel taking too much time with the runner on second base, going through the signs with the catcher, Charlie Somm. Here's the 1-1, and Dickman got a piece of that one, lines it back to the backstop. Usually a telltale sign. Batter's got the timing down. Just has to get the whole barrel on the ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Dickman, getting the start in right field. Caught the second half of last night's game to help preserve the legs of Michael Carpentier Jr. Most of his catching appearances over the last few weeks have been coming into games when catchers either get hurt or need some rest. The 1-2 pitch and waved at, fooled him with the off-speed low and away, and he is strikeout victim number 2 for Ryan Bytel, also out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. That will bring Mason Marenko to the plate. Mason stepped up to the plate in the bottom of the 3rd inning with runners on the corners and 1 out, and grounded into a fielder's choice that scored the runner from 3rd. The Bells elected to get the out at 2nd, but Mason beat out the double play ball. Takes a first pitch strike inside. Mason has a tendency on inside pitches, especially changeups. Pulls the back leg out, turns on those balls, and when he does that, he's got tons of power into left field. That time elected not to swing the bat, and the strike called against him. Here's the 0-1 from Bytel. That one misses low and away, and it's 1-1. Looked like a similar pitch to the one that Blake Dickman was fooled on. Pippins have struck out 3 times in this game. Much different from last night. Pippins struck out a total of 13 times in last night's game. The 1-1, Mason with a bouncer to the third baseman, A.J. Davis. Goes the short way to second, and it's another fielder's choice for Mason Marenko. This one ends the 5th. First 2 batters reach on singles, but The Bells able to get out of it with a flyout in foul territory, a strikeout, and a fielder's choice. No runs for the Pippins in the bottom of the 5th. We go to the 6th. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Bells, and the Pippins lead 6-3. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Top of the 6th inning, Nick McLean will lead things off, followed by Luis Aviles and Cole Hinkleman. 2, 3, and 4, and not a bad spot of the lineup to be up when you need some runs in the second half of a ball game. Unfortunately, the top 3 batters in the lineup for the Bellingham Bells have struggled against Seth Kykendahl. Collectively, they are now 0 for 10. Nick McLean takes ball 1 outside. McLean is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out. In fact, all 3 batters have a flyout and a ground out. I want to correct that. 0 for 7, not 0 for 10. Strike called on McLean. My counting skills on air are never very good. Here's the 2-1 to McLean. Takes over the heart of the plate. No, misses for a ball. Not sure exactly where, but a ball to McLean. So 2-1, foul tip, and Jacob Asher is getting absolutely pummeled behind the plate tonight. I think he's holding his throat. That foul ball might have gotten up underneath the mask and hit him in the throat. And that one takes the wind right out of you. Makes it tough to swallow, tough to breathe. And the trainer immediately out, this time with the backpack. Jacob Asher having a tough night tonight. They get the mask off of him, and he's being tended to right now. He has taken direct pitches to his arm from some of the Bells pitchers. Taking a couple foul balls off various body parts, and now takes one that looks like came up and hit him in the throat. I can't see whether Asher has a throat guard on his mask. Throat guard for young catchers out there and anyone thinking about becoming an umpire at any level. Very important tool. The throat guard costs a couple of extra bucks and will prevent you from getting hit on the throat. And I personally have experience with them. I've actually been hit by a foul ball that broke the throat guard off and left almost no damage to me. So, good opportunity to talk about the advantages of using one. On the bottom of a mask, either if you're a catcher or an umpire, like I said, just hangs down. Costs a couple of extra bucks. If you're going to buy the rest of the gear, you might as well buy that and attach it to it. And can help prevent some of these situations. Again, I'm not saying Asher doesn't have one. I haven't taken a close enough look at his mask. Head coach Kyle Crustangel down there now looks like he's joking around with Asher. So good spirits is a good sign, as Asher might stay in this game. 3-man crew in the playoffs, as we said. The worst case scenario, if Asher were to have to be removed from the game, they'd still have the 2 umpires, Eric Swift and Jordan Shepard, who could finish the game by themselves. But Jacob Asher looks to be in better spirits now. There's always the immediate shock when you have the wind knocked out of you, either being hit by in the chest or in the throat like that. You sort of mentally, you almost lose the memory of how to breathe. And the pain in the throat, if you get hit up in the throat, also makes it tough to swallow and actually try to force air. But generally, of course, those things pass. And all the while, you are breathing, but your brain is telling you you're not because it doesn't remember how to. After a few seconds go by, you sort of recover. And it looks like Asher has, and he's in good spirits. 2-2 pitch misses outside for a ball to Nick McLean, and it's now a full count for him. He's the first batter here in the top of the 6th inning. Pippins leading 6-3. Payoff pitch, breaking ball, he fouls off. McLean 0 for 2. Fly out and a ground out, as I said earlier, before the delay in action. The 3-2 again. They try to go backdoor breaking ball, and it doesn't catch enough of the zone. Nick McLean walks. First time either of the top 4 batters in the lineup have reached against Seth Kykendahl. Just the second walk issued by Kykendahl, and you'll imagine the Pippins, after the leadoff walk to start this inning, and looks like signal given, they are going to have someone start to get loose. You never know. Could just be one walk. It was a long at-bat against McLean, broken up in the middle by the umpire getting hit in the throat. Here's the pitch to Luis Aviles that misses up high. And what you don't want to see is Kykendahl come back and start missing the zone again to the next batter. One walk is okay. Kykendahl can work around that. He's got a 3-run lead. 2 or more walks or base hits on pitches after he gets forced to throw strikes late in a zone or in a count. That's what the Pippins want to avoid. Throw over to first base. Back in safely is McLean. McLean stole 5 bases in the summer season. He was caught 1 time. 1-0 pitch and swung on and missed. By Aviles. 1-1. Aviles also with a ground out and a fly out. Last at bat flew out to the right fielder Blake Dickman to end the 3rd. Kykendahl, the first 2 times he faced the top 3 batters to start an inning, he went 1, 2, and 3. McLean got a huge lead at first. He started and stopped to second, and Carpentier did not throw down to first. He had the arm back, but popped the clutch on that one. Doesn't throw down. He easily would have had McLean out at first base. Instead, it's 2-1 to Aviles with no outs. Pitch fouled off, back to the backstop, and it's 2-2. Carpentier, talked about earlier, he came into this game 14 for 30 throwing out would-be base stealers. He's got 1 caught stealing so far tonight. It was Emilio Corona, who, to be fair, intentionally got himself caught in order to score the runner from 3rd. But should go down as a caught stealing nonetheless and help Carpentier out. Runner on first base, 2-2 count, and Kykendahl throws over to first again. No tag applied as McLean back in safely, getting himself dirty each time Kykendahl throws over. The 2-2 pitch, and swung on and missed by Luis Aviles. That is out number 1. That was not a pretty looking swing for Aviles. That pitch missed low and inside. Aviles tried to bring the bat around to it and then tried to stop himself, but by then had turned the hips fully and the arms couldn't stop. So that's out number 1 on the strikeout. Third strikeout of the night for Seth Kykendahl. And here's Cole Hinkleman, who was the first strikeout of the night for Kykendahl. Back in the 4th inning in a 1-2-3 inning. This is inside with a ball on the first pitch. By the way, over in the South, Corvallis has officially advanced to the West Coast League Championship Series with a 9-0 victory over the Ridgefield Raptors. A 1-0 pitch to Hinkleman, and he takes a ball on the low outside part of the plate. Pippins fans thought that was going to be a delayed strike call by Asher, as he does that sometimes, and the pitch looked good to a lot of the fans. Once they realized he wasn't bringing the hand up, the cheers went to ooze. Here's the 2-0. Hinkleman fouls one back to the screen, and it's 2-1. Nick McLean still on first base, led off the inning with a walk. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Pippins ahead 6-3. Corvallis was out in front early against Ridgefield in Game 1 yesterday. Ridgefield tried to claw their way back, but couldn't close the gap. That game was in Ridgefield. Game 2 was played in Corvallis, and the Knights, it was all Knights all the time. Carpentier throws down to first to try to backpick Nick McLean, who had a large secondary at first base, but the throw was high and away from the bag. Lajoie able to catch it without a problem, but nowhere close to being able to apply a tag. Better throw, closer play, but that was the throw we were given. 3 balls and 1 strike for Cole Hinkleman with 1 out and a runner on first. The pitch from Kykendahl. Misses in the dirt, gets away from Carpentier. He didn't realize how far away it got, but Hinkleman walks nonetheless, so McLean advances to second either way. That'll bring Charlie Somm to the plate, 0 for 1 with a walk. He scored the first run of the game back in the 2nd inning after he walked with 1 out. A.J. Davis with 2 outs reached on a throwing error by Connor Cobalis. And then Malachi Knight scored both of those 2 runners with a single. And as we talked about, the first and third play wound up scoring Malachi Knight. All 3 of those runs back in the 2nd inning were unearned by Seth Kykendahl. He hasn't allowed any runs since. He also had only walked 1 batter coming into the 6th inning, walked Nick McLean to start this 6th, struck out Luis Aviles, and then walked Cole Hinkleman. So Kelly Fitzpatrick is out for a mound visit with a pitcher warming up down in the bullpen. Try to get an idea of who it is. Looks like Owen Wild getting loose down there. Wild, who's certainly got the arm to go a few innings in relief if necessary. And the Pippins, as I said, cannot play for a Game 3. They cannot save arms with their backs against the wall here in game number 2. So if they have to throw both Owen Wild and Landon Shire, both of their top 2 closers, they will here in game number 2. Charlie Somm fouls off the first pitch to start his at-bat. McLean on second base, Cole Hinkleman on first. Kykendahl with 1 out. Pippins looking for a double play ball in the infield. Mason Marenko playing near the second base bag. Cobalis average position at shortstop. Lajoie playing behind the runner at first base, and Chaz Myers a few steps behind the third base bag. Ball delivered to Charlie Somm. It's now 1-1. It's a 3-run game. Both teams scored in just 1 inning for themselves. The Bells scored all 3 runs in the second. The Pippins scored all 6 in the third. Breaking ball inside corner called a strike, and it's 1-2 for the catcher Somm. Kykendahl trying to work through his 6th inning, has 1 out here in the 6th. Was signed to play for the Pippins back in 2020 in the season that turned out not to be. He also pitched for head coach Kyle Crustangel at Yakima Valley College in 2018 and 2019. Bouncer off the plate goes back towards the Pippins dugout, and the count remains 1-2. Kykendahl also pitched for the Wenatchee Apple Sox back in 2019 and was a postseason pitcher for them as well. Part of the reason that Crust Angel trusted him, giving him the ball in the big game at home, game number 2, winds up being very important as the Pippins need to win this game to advance to a game 3. Grounder, shortstop, Kobalas falls as he tries to toss it to second, and the ball doesn't get to second base in time. Kobalas slipped as he fielded that ball, still tried to get it off, and ultimately did not, so everybody's safe. It'll go down as an infield single for Charlie Somm. Connor Kobalas had to go a long way to get that one. He maybe has a chance at second, and the Pippins probably don't turn the double play, but at least would have 2 outs. Instead, the bases are loaded with 1 out. The potential tying run is on first base, and the go-ahead run is at the plate. It's Ty Saunders, who takes a first pitch ball outside. It's 1-0. Along with trusting Kykendahl here in the high-pressure situation of the playoffs, he also, Crust Angel, trusts Kykendahl to get through a situation like this. The 1-0 pitch on its way to Saunders, fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-1. Saunders 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout tonight. Kykendahl plays at Western Oregon University. The Wolves finished 22-8 overall, 19-5 in conference play. They advanced all the way to the West Regional Final, but ended up falling to Northwest Nazarene this spring. Kykendahl joined the team in Bellingham, the second series of the season. Here's the 1-1. Soft line drive beyond first base. Willie Lajoie out. He makes the catch in foul territory. The runner from third thought about tagging. Ultimately did not. Lajoie got it home quickly. Would have been a close play, but Carpentier able to stop that one. And so it would have been even closer for the runner on third, Nick McLean. But the flyout gives the Pippins their second out. And a slight reminder, Charlie Somm, if Pippins are able to go to second and get that out on the previous batter, Somm, that would have been the third out of the inning. Instead, we have 2 outs, the base is still loaded, and A.J. Davis will step to the plate. But head coach Kyle Crust Angel out, and Seth Kykendahl's day is done. 5 2/3 innings of work, 4 hits, 3 runs so far. He's got 3 runners on base. The entire dugout comes out to congratulate him on the big start here in game number 2. He walks 3 batters and strikes out 3. And does exactly what he needs to do to put the Pippins in position to potentially walk home with a win in Game 2 and force a Game 3. Owen Wild will get his warm-up pitches on the mound, and we'll be right back with more from the top of the 6th inning at Yakima County Stadium. Pippins ahead 6-3. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back as we continue on with the top of the 6th inning. And a new pitcher for the Pippins, Owen Wild, takes over for Seth Kykendahl, who turned in 5 2/3 innings to start this game, and now turns it over to the bullpen. Owen Wild will inherit 3 runners as Kykendahl loaded the bases with 2 walks and a single in the inning. He also had a strikeout and a pop-up in foul territory that Willie Lajoie caught for 2 outs. A.J. Davis bats. Grounder on the first pitch to Mason Marenko. Scoops it up over to first, and Owen Wild will strand all 3. A little fist pump from him. We love to see that. 1 pitch, and he gets out of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Pippins, and we'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
The cloud of uncertainty!
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Good?
Welcome back for the bottom of the 6th inning. Alex Shanks, Taylor Holder, and then Connor Cabales to lead things off. This was the part of the lineup that started the bottom of the 3rd inning, in which the Pippins would go on to score 6 runs. They chased the starter, Zach Simon, without recording an out in the 3rd inning. First pitch to Shanks. He takes inside for a ball, and it's 1-0. Shanks, in his first at-bat back in that 3rd inning, led off with a single, moved over to second on a throwing error, or a catching error by the second baseman. Takes up high for a ball as Taylor Holder grounded into what could have been a double play ball. They went for the lead out at second at first, and the ball skipped off the glove of the second baseman, Ty Saunders. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Shanks, who takes down low, and he's strike called. Got me with the delayed strike call again, did Jacob Asher. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off by Alex Shanks, and the count now even. By the way, new pitcher in the game for the Bellingham Bells, as it looks like Kai Francis has taken over for Ryan Bytel. Two-2 pitch to Shanks, and holds back a swing. He takes low and away. Ball 3. Count now full for him to start the at-bat. He had a full count when he singled in the 3rd inning. Francis works out of the windup. Another right-hander. Lanky one as well. The payoff pitch to Shanks. Fly ball into center field. Racing over is Nick McLean as it's in right center. That ball started off down the middle and tailed all the way into right center field. McLean will make the catch, and that is out number 1. That will bring Taylor Holder to the plate. He is 0 for 2, but he did reach on that fielder's choice in the 3rd inning to keep the inning going. without a run. Kobalas would single to load the bases. Chaz Myers would drop in an RBI single, and Sam Olson was hit by a pitch to force in a second run, ending Zach Simon's day. The first pitch to Holder. Chopper, third base line, rolling towards foul territory. Will it stay on the line? And it just goes foul. That was a close one. I think it actually hit the bat of Taylor Holder twice, but he realized he might have a chance to beat that one out and took off for first. Initially, I thought it hit the bat twice, and Holder didn't immediately start running. But when there was no call and he saw it dribbling down the third base line, he thought he might have had a chance at it. Ends up being a strike on the foul ball for Taylor Holder. Holder thought that had stayed fair all the way down, and it was close. The 0-1 pitch over the head of Taylor Holder. He takes a ball. It's 1-1. That one. The Pippins play on a grass and dirt field, unlike in Bellingham where it's all turf. So you get those awkward hops that we've seen throughout the day, and you get bunts that roll down the line and sometimes will roll off the lip of the grass and into foul territory. The 1-1 pitch, Holder lines into center field. Nick McLean racing forward, and he makes the catch. Glove at his hip for out number 2. Covered a lot of ground. Didn't have to dive for it, but came close. And the first two batters are retired here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We go to the top of the lineup, and it's Connor Kobalas. Francis, the pitcher on the mound for Bellingham. 6'3" right-hander, will be attending Gonzaga in the fall. This is outside on the first pitch to Kobalas, and it's 1-0. Through the windup, the 1-0 pitch from Francis. Kobalas, chopper, shallow in the infield. Barehanded by the third baseman, A.J. Davis, who almost threw it away, but the first baseman, Luis Aviles, stretches out towards right field to make the catch, keeping the foot on the bag. And Kobalas almost beat out that infield hit, but A.J. Davis has been all over these baseballs in the infield today. Great work defensively for the third baseman, and we go into the 7th. Pippins still leading 6-3. Owen Wild will head back out for a full inning in the 7th. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Top of the 7th inning, and Owen Wild will head back out. He has thrown exactly one pitch. That's all he needed to escape the jam with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Coming in for Seth Kykendahl. Pitched 5 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts for him. Owen Wild in 1/3 of an inning. None of those, just a ground out. Gets a full inning here in the 7th. We'll see how deep into this game he goes, obviously depending on how well he's able to pitch. I think in an ideal world, the Pippins would like to ride Owen Wild through the end of this game, throwing 7th, 8th, and 9th. He's certainly had longer relief outings. The first pitch to Malachi Knight, he misses, no, catches the knees for a called strike. The 0-1 pitch. And that one misses down low. See, now I got to wait because I'm not sure whether those pitches are called strikes or not. Been fooled a few times by the home plate umpire. Here's the 1-1. That one misses up high to Malachi Knight. Knight is 2 for 2 tonight. He went 3 for 5 last night. He had a 2-run single in the second and a double in the fifth. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Wild. Lines went into center. Taylor Holder on the run, reaches over and makes the catch for out number 1. That will bring Emilio Corona to the plate for the third time tonight. Had a single in the second inning. Flew out in the fifth. Did not play last night. Bats with 1 out and nobody on against Owen Wild, who's up ready on the mound. He's got the glove in front of his face and he's ready to go. Owen Wild is built well. He's not necessarily the tallest pitcher you'll see, but carries himself well and is a fierce competitor. Really shows the presence on the mound, especially in big game situations. He always wants the ball, and he gets it here in game number 2. First pitch strike to Emilio Corona. The 0-1 is also a strike, low outside corner. And in the blink of an eye, Owen Wild is already ahead of the left fielder, 0-2. Wild out of the windup. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, and that is strikeout number 1 for Owen Wild. Out number 2 here in the 7th. He went high and tight to Corona, and Corona just could not hold back the swing. That brings us to the top of the order. Cody Schreier, who is hitless tonight, 0 for 3. Last night he went 5 for 6. He had a home run, a double, and 3 singles. He was a triple shy of the cycle. Here's the first pitch to him from Owen Wild. Bounces outside, taken for ball 1. Top of the 7th inning, Pippins leading 6-3. In a do-or-die game, and Owen Wild wants a new baseball. Home plate umpire didn't see him holding his hands up for time. So Owen just threw the ball into the dugout, forcing him to get a new baseball. The 1-0 to Schreier. Line down the right field line, tailing and just missing the light pole. It's 1-1. Pippins playing at home here in game 2. By virtue of winning both halves of the regular season, they have earned the right to host games 2 and 3 of this series. 3 is only if necessary. If the Pippins win tonight after Bellingham won last night, the 1-1 pitch misses low and away, and it's 2-1. Pippins knew this game would be coming. August 15th, the one guaranteed home playoff game. Fireworks scheduled for after the game, and the Pippins are 3-1 on fireworks nights this season. The 2-1 pitch fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-2. Looking to make it 4-1 on fireworks nights. Cody Schreier at the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Owen Wild waiting for him up on the rubber. Schreier now digs in. Couple of shakes from Wild. Here's the 2-2. Popped up, out of play over the backstop. Count still 2-2. If the Pippins can hold on to this one, they will play game 3 tomorrow night. They already know who the winner of this series will play in the championship series. It's Corvallis, who played a quick game 2 and defeated the Ridgefield Raptors 9-0. Bouncer up the middle, nobody there. It's a high chopper that bounced just past the second base bag and into center field. That is a 2-out base hit for Cody Schreier, his first hit of the night. Here's Nick McLean, who walked to lead off the top of the 6th inning. It was his first time on the base paths. The Bells wound up loading the bases, but could not score a run. McLean has been productive defensively, covering a lot of ground out in center field as well as right and left field. Bats from the left side. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a runner on first base and 2 outs. Owen Wild working out of the stretch now. First pitch takes on the high out, takes high for a ball. So with Corvallis winning in the South, we already know they've got the best overall record in the West Coast League of any team. 1-0 pitch, and it's lined the other way down the left field line. That bounces fair. Over to third goes Cody Schreier. He will be held up there as the throw gets to third base. Connor Corvallis cut it off and wisely started putting his glove towards third base, trying to see if Schreier would be caught off the bag. Schreier did not drift too far away. So it's a double for Nick McLean that puts runners on second and third in the top of the 7th inning as the Pippins try to hold on to their 3-run lead. Here's Luis Aviles, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout tonight. That one was not hit well by the left-hander hitting McLean, evidenced by the fact that it had a rainbow arch to it, and it didn't go very far, and it went the other way. That one just stayed fair down the left field line, and McLean was able to race in for a double as the throw went towards the plate, cut off near third base by the shortstop Corvallis. 2 runners in scoring position for Aviles, the redshirt senior out of Tulane University. First pitch takes at the top of the strike zone for a called strike, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. And another strike call, this one at the knees, so changing eye levels for Luis Aviles, and we'll see what he comes back with. I suspect he'll go with the slider away to try to get him to chase. And we'll see whether Aviles is able to lay off. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch fouled off by Aviles. Looks like they came back with the fastball. Runners on second and third. Potential tying run at the plate. Owen Wild in his first full inning got 2 quick outs, but then a single and a double put the 2 runners on. 0-2 for Luis Aviles. Kick and deliver from Owen Wild, and he gets Aviles swinging. Big punch in the air for Michael Carpentier Jr. And that is the second strikeout of the inning for Owen Wild, who gets through a scoreless 7th, stranding 2 runners. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch in Yakima. Pippins leading 6-3. We'll be right back. You're tuning in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the bottom of the 7th inning. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Pippins as they lead 6-3. Chaz Myers, Sam Olson, and Willie Lajoie to get things going. Kai Francis out to continue his work. He had a 3-up, 3-down 6th inning. Fly out, line out, and a ground out. Chaz Myers swings at the first pitch and pops one up out of play on the first base side. It's 0-1 for him. Myers is 1 for 3 tonight. He had an RBI base hit back in the 3rd inning. Francis is the 3rd pitcher used by the Bellingham Bells in this game. They used 2 to get through last night's game. The 0-1 pitch to Myers catches the low outside corner, and it's 0-2. By the way, I missed it a couple of innings ago, but we had the Legends Casino dice roll here at Yakima County Stadium that we have for every home game. Our one lucky fan has a chance to roll the dice for a chance to win up to $500. And tonight, a big night for both the Pippins and a one lucky fan, Randy, who after playing the dice roll is going home with $250. That could be you if you make your way out to a home Pippins game. Assuming the Pippins can hold on here tonight, there's one more tomorrow night. And you can always come back for the 2022 season as well. Season tickets are on sale now. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Chaz Myers. Takes a ball in the dirt, and it's 2-2 for him. By the way, tonight's 7th inning is brought to you by the Yakima Herald Republic. For all game reports and news about the Pippins, read the Yakima Herald Republic either in print or online. The Yakima Herald Republic, they tell the Pippins stories. Chaz Myers grounds one off the end of his bat to the second baseman, Ty Saunders, who throws it away. Does not go into the dugout, but Chaz Myers took a turn towards second base. He had to race back to first because the catcher, Charlie Somm, was backing up the play. He barely slid back in safely. So it's an infield, well, probably go down as an error for the second baseman, Saunders. Had enough time to make that play, threw it away from the first baseman, Aviles, and almost went into the dugout. Myers took that large turn at first. Batters allowed to overrun first base, but not allowed to make a turn towards second base with intent to go to second. Otherwise, the fielders then have a chance to put them out, and they tried to there and almost made the play. Francis steps off, and Chaz Myers will head back into first base. Sam Olson at the plate. He's 1 for 2. Base hit and was hit by a pitch to force home a run with the bases loaded back in the 3rd inning. First pitch to Sam Olson. He takes in the dirt for ball 1. Does go down as an error for the second baseman, Ty Saunders, that allows Chaz Myers to reach here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That is error number 2 for the Bellingham Bells. The Pippins have one as well. The 1-0 to Olson. And he lines one deep to left field. Racing back goes Emilio Corona, and he reaches up and makes the catch on the warning track. Chaz Myers thought that ball was gone. He is all the way past third base, and the shortstop, Cody Schreier, jogged towards first, now tosses it to first, and Chaz Myers is out. Myers cannot believe that ball was caught and cannot believe the mistake that he has made on the base pass. I don't believe he was running on that play. But Sam Olson got a hold of that baseball, sent it deep to left field, and either thought it was gone or thought Corona would not be able to chase it down. He made the catch after backpedaling on the warning track, and Chaz Myers was hung out to dry. He really was no chance he was going to race back. Lajoie lines one into left field. Emilio Corona will let that one drop in front of him, and it's a 2-out base hit for Willie Lajoie. Well, one of those things, Chaz Myers doesn't get caught off of first base. We'd have runners on first and second with 1 out. It's hard to tell exactly what caused Myers to go all the way to third. But he really rounded third base and just stood there, dumbstruck by the fact that that ball had been caught and was being relayed back to first. Michael Carpentier Jr. will bat after the 2-out base hit by Lajoie. Pippins looking to add to their 6-3 lead. The base running flummox erases the error that allowed Myers to reach to start this inning. Carpentier takes a ball low and away. Look over to first from Kai Francis. Now set and delivers the pitch to Carpentier. Hard hit grounder, first base side. One hops the first baseman Aviles, who gets the glove on it right in front of the first base bag. Fair ball. All he has to do is turn around and step on the bag. Cash Ulrich is trying to argue that Aviles caught that ball in foul territory. I don't think he's going to win that argument. And so the hard hit ball stopped by Aviles, as the Bells benefit from Aviles holding on to Willie Lajoie after the single. So they cannot capitalize on the error, and instead there are no runs for the Pippins in the bottom of the 7th. We go into the 8th. Pippins still leading 6-3. Nobody has emerged yet to pitch. I believe Owen Wild will be returning, and now he does come out of the dugout. Owen Wild returning for the top of the 8th. He will face 4, 5, and 6. When we return, you're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for the top of the 8th inning, and here's an interesting one. Corey Gerald comes into play right field. That's not necessarily the interesting part. We saw that last night, but we saw it as a corresponding move, moving Blake Dickman from right field to catch, relieving Michael Carpentier Jr., letting him rest up the legs in anticipation of catching here tonight in Game 2 and potentially in Game 3. This time, it looks like it's just a straight substitution. Corey Gerald coming on for Blake Dickman, which is a really purely defensive substitution. Gerald can hit, but Dickman the better hitter. And Dickman tonight was 1 for 3 with an RBI base hit. He was also set to lead off in the bottom half of the 8th inning when we get there. Here in the top of the 8th, Cole Hinkleman leads off, fouled off the first pitch. The 0-1 catches the outside corner, and Owen Wild is ahead 0-2. Hinkleman is 0 for 2 with a strikeout tonight. He walked in his last at-bat. That came against Seth Kykendahl. Owen Wild through the windup. The 0-2 pitch to Hinkleman. Takes inside and just misses inside for a ball. Owen Wild, 1 1/3 innings of relief so far. 2 hits against him, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Both of them came in the 7th inning. The 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat, just gets enough of it to keep himself alive. It's still 1-2 for the big hitting DH. So far, the Pippins have been able to prevent the big hit out of the bat of Cole Hinkleman. Bellingham Bells scored 3 runs in the top of the 2nd. The Pippins responded with 6 in the bottom of the third. Hinkleman lines one into right field, dropping quickly. Gerald on the run, and he makes the catch, the basket catch with the glove turned upside down. And that is out number 1. Well, the defensive switch pays off already as Gerald covers some ground to make that catch out in right field. And Charlie Somm will bat with 1 out and nobody on. Let's take another look at that one. Gerald comes into this game. Luckily got the legs stretched out, hopefully had some notice, and sprints over to catch this one. It was dropping quickly in the right center field gap. He ranges over, turns the glove over to catch it around the hip and make the catch for out number 1, retiring Cole Hinkleman, who the Pippins have been able to, as I said, keep from producing the big hit like he had last night. Charlie Somm takes a first pitch strike in his at-bat. Grounder the other way to Willie Lajoie at first. Misplays it at first on the bobble, but picks it up off the ground and steps on the first base bag for out number 2. Lajoie, a very good defensive first baseman. I talked to him earlier this season about how he got to be so good at first base and how he got to start playing first base, and found out that he actually was originally a third baseman. Played a lot of third base. And once you play the hot corner, the other corner tends to be a little bit easier. And he's been a great defensive option for the Pippins at first base this season. Shows it that time as he bobbles it, but picks it up on the second effort. Doesn't panic, picks it up, only has to go step on the first base bag to get the out. Pinch hitter here in the top of the 8th inning, Alex Lambo takes over for the second baseman, Ty Saunders. Lambo fouls one off after taking ball 1, and it's 1-1 for him. Lambo out of Santa Clara University, the 1-1 pitch to him from Owen Wild. He pulls, one hops through the left side of the infield past the diving glove of Connor Cobalis. And, well, the Pippins make a defensive change, and it pays off early. The Bells make an offensive change, a pinch hitter with 2 outs in the top of the 8th, and that one pays off with a single. Here's A.J. Davis, who reached on an error by Cobalis in the second inning. Then a line out and a ground out. He swung at the first pitch he saw from Owen Wild with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 6th inning, grounding out to the second baseman Mason Marenko to end that inning. Wild would allow 2 hits in the 7th, but 2 strikeouts helped him get out of that 7th inning without a run. 2 quick outs here in the 8th before the base hit by Lambo, and Davis bats, taking ball 1 low. Lambo on first base. The 1-0 pitch, and it's another grounder. Left side of the infield, Cobalis has to reach for it. Long throw over to first. Lajoie stretches out in time. And A.J. Davis grounds out to end the 8th inning, and he is not happy about that call from Eric Swift at first base. Connor Cobalis with a huge play at shortstop, and Owen Wild gets through the 8th, and Adam Gieslin is out. Arms outstretched, very upset with the call from Eric Swift. Let's take another look at that one. We obviously don't have a slow motion instant replay, but we'll do our best. Connor Cobalis goes deep into the 5-6 hole to be able to bring that ball in, sets his feet and throws across the diamond on the money. Gets help from Willie Lajoie stretching out to make the catch at first base, and they narrowly beat out A.J. Davis down the line by half a step. And the Pippins get through the 8th inning, 1 batter aboard on the single by Alex Lambo. But Owen Wild with a line out and 2 groundouts is through the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Pippins leading 6-3. 6, 7, and 8 due up for him. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
Common certainty!
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the bottom of the 8th inning. And Corey Gerald, who came on for Blake Dickman in the top of the 8th, he leads things off here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. I was not paying attention in the bottom of the 7th inning when Dickman's spot was on deck for the last batter to see whether it was Gerald or Dickman who came out into the on-deck circle. So I can't tell you whether the plan was to bring him in to hit or it was purely a defensive option late in the game. Gerald takes 2 balls to start his at-bat here in the 8th inning. But nonetheless, he bats to lead things off in the bottom of the 8th. He will be followed by Mason Marenko and Alex Shanks as Gerald takes up high, and it's 3-0. Gerald becomes the second left-handed bat in the lineup tonight for the Pippins. There was only one in the starting lineup, Michael Carpentier Jr., the cleanup hitter, who had a two-run single in the 3rd inning, gave the Pippins the lead. Here's the 3-0 to Gerald. Takes on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 3-1. Pippins with their last chance to add to the lead before the 9th inning. I don't see anyone. There's no one throwing right now. I suspect that Landon Shire will be on call in the bullpen as they ask Owen Wild to finish things off in the 9th inning. Gerald lines one back to the screen, and it's a full count for him. I suspect that because Owen Wild is pitching well. He has allowed a few hits. He allowed 1 in the 8th, 2 in the 7th. But no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts for him. And if he can get through the 9th and save Shire for tomorrow night's game, and the Pippins would be in good shape for a late game situation. Gerald fouls one over the press box and out of play. Still a full count for him to start the bottom of the 8th inning. I've said it before, and I still mean it. The Pippins cannot play for a Game 3. However, they are up by 3 and can at least hedge their bets. As Gerald takes strike 3 low and inside. That is strikeout number 1 for Kai Francis, working into his 3rd inning of relief. Over 2 innings so far, he allowed just 1 hit. One batter reached on an error last inning. No walks and the 1 strikeout for Kai Francis. He was the 3rd pitcher of this game for the Bellingham Bells. Mason Marenko bats. He's 0 for 3. Reached on 2 fielders' choices. Bouncer to the shortstop. Schreier throws over to first in time. And Mason Marenko grounds out for out number 2. That will bring Alex Shanks to the plate. Shanks is 1 for 3. He started off the bottom of the 3rd inning, which turned into a 6-run inning for the Pippins with a base hit. Pippins would go on to load the bases before an RBI hit by Chaz Myers, and Sam Olson was hit by a pitch to force home a 2nd run. Shanks takes a first pitch ball on the off speed. Carpentier's 2-run single made it 4-3, giving the Pippins the lead. They would add 2 more in that inning as they batted around in the 3rd. That is the only time the Pippins have scored tonight. The 1-0, Alex Shanks takes a strike at the knees, and it's 1-1. On the other side of the ball, the Bells scored in just 1 inning. That was back in the 2nd when they put together a 3-run inning. Here's the 1-1 to Shanks, and holds back a swing, called a strike. It's 1-2. Shanks thought that breaking ball was dropping out of the zone. Home plate umpire Jacob Asher says it stayed in long enough. 1-2 pitch to Alex Shanks. Ball misses low and away. And You know, all in all, I think the West Coast League picked 3 great umpires for this series. I thought Jordan Shepard did a solid job behind the plate last night. Jacob Asher is holding his own despite getting beaten up, bloodied and bruised behind the plate tonight. Ball misses high and tight to Alex Shanks, and it's a full count for him. 2 batters in this inning worked themselves into a full count. Gerald, who started the inning with a full count, struck out looking. Mason Marenko grounded out. 2 outs, nobody on. Full count for Alex Shanks. Kai Francis threw the windup, the payoff pitch, and Shanks grounds one left side. That will go fielded by the shortstop, Schreier, who might have had a jumping throw play, but the transfer wasn't clean, so he eats it, and Alex Shanks will reach on the infield single. Now, I'll just follow up on that point about the umpires in this series. Again, Jordan Shepard, I felt, was very consistent last night. There's really only one at-bat in which the Pippins coaches got a little animated, and it was a strikeout-looking call. I believe it was Spencer Marenko. Actually, it was Spencer Marenko who was a called strike on a 3-1 pitch. They ended up striking out swinging. That was really the only time the Pippins seemed to be upset about the strike zone. Taylor Holder, fly ball into center field. Nick McLean over, and he will make the catch. Awkwardly catches it, but he does. And Taylor Holder flies out for out number 3. Alex Shanks has a 2-out single, but no runs score. We go to the top of the 9th. 8-9-1 due up for the Bellingham Bells. And I just want to stay here long enough to confirm, as I take a look at who's exiting the dugout, and Owen Wild does. He will pitch the top of the 9th, and we'll see what he can do. Pippins leading 6-3 as we go to the 9th. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Top of the 9th inning. We know there's a lot of eyes on this broadcast. The South Division divisional round is already over. Corvallis sweeping that series 2-0 with a 9-0 victory in Game 2 tonight in Corvallis. Jacob Asher, the home plate umpire, is pointing to something out on the mound. Not sure exactly what. Kelly Fitzpatrick is out. Looks like Owen Wild was looking for a pick to be able to dig out the mud from underneath his cleats. As I was saying, the early South Division game is already over. That one's been decided. Corvallis will play away in Game 1 in the championship series and then host Games 2 and 3. The only question is who they will play. The Bellingham Bells won Game 1 last night in Bellingham 14-1. Here tonight, the Bellingham Bells scored 3 runs in the top of the 2nd against Seth Kykendahl, but he would not allow any further runs. The Pippins, meanwhile, had a 6th run bottom of the 3rd inning. It was Michael Carpentier Jr.'s 2-run single with the bases loaded that gave the Pippins a 4-3 lead. They would add 2 more runs in that inning. They would also not score after that, and so they have taken a 6-3 lead all the way into the 9th. Kykendahl pitched 5 2/3. He left in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs and the bases loaded after walking his second and third batters of the game and allowing a base hit to load the bases. After he got his second out, Owen Wild came on and needed just one pitch to get A.J. Davis to ground out and end the 6th, escaping the jam. In the 7th, Owen Wild struck out 2 batters. He stranded runners on second and third after Cody Schreier singled and Nick McLean doubled. And then in the 8th, he stranded 1 runner on after a 2-out single by pinch hitter Alex Lambo. Here to start things off in the top of the 9th, Malachi Knight, who has a 1-ball-and-2-strike count. It is 8-9-1. Malachi Knight, Emilio Corona, and Cody Schreier, the 1-2 pitch, and Knight fouls that one off. It's still 1-2. So Owen Wild has already gone 2 1/3 so far. He has allowed 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Right-handed flamethrower, much different look from Seth Kykendahl. He is a great option to follow Kykendahl after the start. Misses up high, and it's 2-2, as he displayed here tonight. A lot of fierceness in him out on the mound. Off the field, he's got a great character, always joking around, but highly motivated in the weight room and highly motivated on the mound as he strikes out Malachi Knight looking at the knees for out number 1. As I was saying, highly motivated in the weight room. Owen Wild, one of the more feared guys to lift with, but he also is very helpful building lift plans for guys. He works out with them and is understanding if they don't lift as much weight as he does. Filled out a questionnaire where he said his favorite player is Chase Graves, fellow Yakima Valley Pippin from the University of the Pacific. Not in the lineup in either of these 2 games so far. First pitch taken up high by Emilio Corona, and it's 1-0. Bit of a goofball, but like I said, the work ethic definitely there for Owen Wild. Out of the windup, the 1-0, Corona fouls one off on the first base side, and it's 1-1. You just know the coaches from Gonzaga keeping an eye on this game. A high-pressure situation, and Owen Wild has performed beautifully. Corona fouls one off on the off-speed pitch, and now it's 1-2. 1 out and nobody on. Top of the 9th inning, Pippins leading 6-3 at home. They will host Game 3 if they are able to close this one out. Here's the 1-2. Comes back with the fastball high, and Corona lays off. Corona is one of the 2 strikeouts that Owen Wild had back in the 7th inning. He is 1 for 3 so far tonight. The 2-2 on its way. Swung on and missed, and that is strikeout number 3 for Owen Wild, this time swinging. Make it strikeout number 4 following the strikeout to Malachi Knight to start this inning. Owen Wild had 4 saves in West Coast League play, 16 appearances. He also had a perfect 3-0 record with a 3.28 ERA. Timeout called by the home plate umpire, Asher, who's got some sort of, he had some words for Cody Schreier. I'm not really sure what that was about. But seems to be over now. Pippins 1 out away from forcing Game 3 in the WCL North Divisional round. First pitch, big hack from Cody Schreier trying to ambush Owen Wild on the first pitch fastball. Instead, Owen Wild missed high and Schreier was waving at it. Wild out of the windup. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Schreier swings and misses again. And now 1 strike away. Some of the fans here in Yakima start to reach their feet. Fireworks coming up after the game, no matter how this game ends, but fireworks always a little bit sweeter after a win, and this would be a big one. The 0-2 to Schreier takes up high this time, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schreier is 1 for 4. He had a single in the 7th inning against Owen Wild. Otherwise, 2 flyouts and a ground out for him. He's behind 1-2. The pitch. Fouls that one off as he makes contact with one for the first time in this at-bat. This one a much closer game than in game one. As anticipated, you don't often see in baseball a high-scoring blowout, 14-1, followed by another high-scoring blowout. Instead, these two teams come back evenly matched in game two. The Bells took advantage of an error in the second. The Pippins put together some hits in the third. The 1-2 lined the other way out of play over the right field picnic deck, just past the grandstands. And Cody Schreier battling to stay in this count, still 1-2 for him. Pippins with that big 6-run third inning, that has proved the difference in this game, along with the great pitching from Seth Kykendahl and now Owen Wild, who's one strike away. The 1-2, grounder up the middle, bounces through into center field, and Cody Schreier has his second hit of the night against Owen Wild with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Well, that will bring Nick McClain to the plate, and after Cody Schreier singled in the 7th, Nick McClain hit a weak line drive down the left field line, barely stayed fair. He raced in for a double as Schreier went first to third. Wild wound up stranding them on second and third with a strikeout to Luis Aviles. So the left-handed hitting McClain will bat again. He is 1 for 3. He also walked in this game. Misses inside on the first pitch. It's 1-0. His walk came against Seth Kykendahl. Owen Wild has not lived up to his last name. He has not allowed a free pass so far here tonight. 1-0 count, working out of the stretch. The pitch misses up high this time. One inside, one up high. And he takes a long walk off the back of the mound, still working out the mud from underneath his cleats. He's really the first pitcher tonight who seems to be having a problem with some of the mud or clay out on the mound. You don't often see it happen late in a game without any rain. At first, maybe, because the field might have been overwatered, but here in the 9th, unexpected. Here's the 2-0 to McClain. Pops one up, out of play on the third base side. The pitch that he took the other way down the left field line was in on the hands. He just barely made contact with it. And as I said, was able to keep it fair. Rolling towards the Pippins bullpen as Schreier went first to third. Here's the 2-1. This is low and inside, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike for Nick McClain, the freshman out of UCLA. Check on over to first. Now he comes set, hands at his chest, the 2-1, or 3-1 rather. Fouled off, and another foul ball that hits Jacob Asher, the home plate umpire. And Jordan Shepard in the middle of the infield, he was going to come down and check on Asher, but he gave him the thumbs up. Carpentier, veteran catcher, will walk the baseball out to Owen Wild to buy Asher a minute or two. So it's a full count for Nick McClain. And something's got to shove here in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs, runner on first base, and a full count for Nick McClain. Pippins up by 3. Owen Wild trying to close out the save. Here in game 2, do or die for the Pippins. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner goes. In on the hands, softly, 1 hop to the second baseman. Mason Marenko throws to first, and Nick McClain grounds out, and the Pippins have won game number 2 here in Yakima. They have forced a game 3 that will also take place tomorrow night in Yakima. You gotta tip your cap to Seth Kykendahl, who goes 5 2/3, allowing just 4 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned, as the Bellingham Bells capitalized on an error by Connor Kobalas in the second inning that kept that inning going. So the 3 runs unearned by Kykendahl. He allows 3 walks and strikes out 3. Exits in the 6th with 2 outs and the bases loaded, and gives way to Owen Wild, who strands all 3 runners with a ground out and then goes 3 more complete innings to end the game. He strikes out 4 batters, does not walk 1, and allows just 4 hits over 3 1/3 innings of relief to earn the save here in game number 2 and give the Pippins some life. You know the energy is going to be high in the clubhouse tonight, and you know it will carry over into tomorrow night. Make sure you come out to support the Pippins. Tickets for Game 3 will be on sale at pippinstickets.com. You don't want to miss your chance, or tune in right here on YouTube at Pippins Baseball or on Mixlr at Pippins Baseball. You can find both of those at pippinsbaseball.com/live as well. The Pippins put together a 6-run third inning, the first 3 batters reaching to load the bases with no outs, taking advantage of an error by the Bellingham Bells on a potential double play ball in which they earned no outs when Taylor Holder reached on what goes down as a fielder's choice, allowing Alex Shanks to move to second as the ball skipped away from the second baseman Ty Saunders on the first leg of the potential double play. Connor Kobala singles to load the bases. Then Chaz Myers drops in a shallow line drive to center field to score the first run. Sam Olsen is hit by a pitch to force home a second run, making it a 1-run game, and that ended the day for Zach Simon, the starting pitcher for Bellingham. Ryan Beitel comes into this game, strikes out Willie Lajoie for the first out, but then Michael Carpentier Jr., a 2-run single in the bottom of the third inning, gives the Pippins a 4-3 lead. Blake Dickman had an RBI base hit, putting runners on the corners, and Mason Marenko grounded into a fielder's choice that scored the runner from third. It was the second out of the inning, and then Alex Shanks lined out to finally end that third inning. It was the only inning the Pippins would be able to score, and it wound up being all the offense the Pippins would need. They walk away with a 6-3 win in game number 2, and we try again one more time tomorrow night to decide who wins the WCL North Divisional round and who will go on to face the Corvallis Knights for a chance to take home the 2021 West Coast League Championship. I've been Chris Rosado Jr. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you do so again tomorrow night. I'll be here, and I hope you are too. Have a good night.